Alright, guys, welcome to the Salted Butter Podcast with Alpha and Missing Person. Hey, guys.
You forgot Lando.
Yeah.
How could I forget
You're
Lando?
not going to let me do my intro.
How to forget? No, go ahead. We're live, so.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
I'm such an amateur.
Clearly.
I didn't know, you know what? Sorry, guys. I didn't know you had a intro prepared, so let's hear it.
We always have the intro.
Too late.
Like I watched the show.
Shows how much you know.
Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. I'm having a cup of coffee.
So yeah, MP, Alpha, Lando, spread shit on the Jesus Toast. Let's go.
All right. So, 2 weeks since the last episode. How's everything been, Alpha?
Oh, quiet. Since we haven't had any games running, and we've just started the MS Paint Adventures, which I have not participated in yet. So I'm waiting to see how RadicalFuzz has affected that.
You don't want to.
I think I'm just going to recon whatever I get. Like, if I get a drawing, I'm just going to change the meaning completely. If I get a description, I'm just going to draw whatever the fuck I want. I'm pretty sure that'll be more accurate than what's being passed along.
Totally.
It's a contest, right? We're versus SRK for who could be the most accurate. Is that correct?
That's
Exactly.
correct. We're already fucked.
But come on.
With Fuzz first, I mean, what
Yeah.
do you expect?
Yeah, that's kind of harsh, I guess. I mean, maybe we could pull up and show his awesome drawing from last time.
That's a good idea.
Please do.
Yep.
Oh.
What was his description for that?
I'll look for it.
So I was hoping to God he would get Describer.
Yeah, well, you were the reason he didn't go as a describer and went as a wild card.
Should have just told him I wanted him to be a drawer. I wanted to see caliber artwork. Probably would have still gotten drawer.
Okay, so the description he got was Black Jesus being watching over the temple of colorful penises.
No, we can't do that. We're gonna get banned from Twitch.
That's true.
With Fuzz's drawing, it could be interpreted as something different.
Here we go. This is our. This is on the screen. You have Fuzz's nice drawing. Now, what was the description, Alpha? Say it again.
Black Jesus being watching over the temple of colorful penises.
Okay. They kind of look like they could be rocket ships, I guess. So maybe Twitch won't ban us.
Yeah.
Gold star.
So, thanks, Fuzz. So this right here is the supposedly like the first drawing off the bat, right? Like Fuzz got first this time.
Yes.
So let me share the stimulus picture. So this is the first picture in the game, and this is what Fuzz's picture is supposed to be representing.
Oh
nice
no! Wait. Oh,
castle.
from the last game.
Yeah, from the last game.
Oh no, Fuzz was almost.
You know what I'm saying?
last.
That was
Yeah.
Fuzz's level of drawing, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
the first drawer in this game. So everything is gonna basically
Be based off
off that. So
Yeah.
this is
You don't even want it.
this is the quality that you would. This is what he's trying to represent, and not that good.
I weeped
Of course, synonyms wasn't that much
doing
better.
the description.
Synonyms wasn't that much better. This is synonyms. This is what Fuzz was based on. This picture right here. So
I'm not 100% convinced that what I got was not the stimulus. Yummy time.
Yeah.
interesting. So yeah. So that's what we have going on right now.
Yeah.
Just a nice, fun game of whispers. Which, did you guys ever explain what the game was last time?
No, we actually didn't. We got too busy with twos.
When do you guys want to give a quick rundown of what whispers is?
All right, I will. Since I've GM'd two of them, I'm well qualified to handle this. So basically, it's like Chinese whispers. Only the way you run it is the GM will hand out a stimulus picture to somebody. They have 10 words, no more, no less, to describe the picture. So they submit that to the GM, who submits it to the first drawer, who has to draw what they sent. And it just goes down the line, describer, drawer, until we get to the end. Then everything's revealed. It's basically a whose line of drawing. Only we still don't get fuzz points.
And the end drawing always has dicks in it.
Yes.
It's supposed to be who can slip in the most dicks, right? I thought that was the rules. Is that not correct?
Well, Fuzz can slip in the most dicks, if you know what I mean.
Wow. I think last go round I was actually the first person to slip a dick in, but it's only because I was the second drawer.
You were.
Augustus was trying to be too nice, I guess.
Augustus always tries to keep it PG.
Mm.
Yeah, who would have thought somebody from GTF would try to keep it PG?
And I wanted to address something. Did you call it Chinese whispers? Because that's pretty racist.
I live here. I don't care. They do it all the time. I'm not even kidding. That's like an icebreaker game here.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a game that we used to play in elementary school, but we never called it Chinese whispers. We always just called it telephone.
No.
It is. It's, Chinese claim to invent it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
They probably just
So do you call
took
like
it
American
and
whispers
copied
over
it
there?
and made a cheap knockoff,
And
and
that's Chinese.
then claimed
And
to have
then-
invented it. Yeah, and then licensed
Yeah.
it back to America.
We even have a patent, and it just doesn't hold up in Chinese court.
Is there a Chinese court? I didn't know there was.
I'm talking about any court.
All right, so what's on the agenda for today?
Oh, well.
Well,
should
we'll
talk
go over
about-
a little bit of just what's been happening on JTM, which isn't much, of course.
Nothing.
Well, except for your sign-ups, right? That's for you.
Oh yeah, my sign-up there's actually been pretty fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to give a quick overlay of what's been happening in your sign-up thread? What
No, it's
milestones
been-
you've broken?
Been intense. It's been an intense sign-up. I'm hoping that the caliber of the sign-up thread it just carries over to the game, because this is the longest sign-up thread that we've had, period.
Yeah, it's been a while
And-
since we've had that much time to get people to sign up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I was a little ambitious, because I had asked for 40 players just today, got 40.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an insane game. We broke the record for most players in one game on our site.
What was the biggest? Was it one of the
It was
Marvel games?
37 betas, Ultimate Marvel game.
Ultimate Marvel game.
Yep. So we have shattered Beta's record. He now fades into obscurity.
Beta
Shattered
who?
by 3.
Well, 3 is a lot, especially considering our site is still, new and up and coming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how were you able to get so many people to come play?
Well, I'll give credit to, of course, TGG for doing some recon work through the GOC chat, and then through
GOC being Game of Champions,
Yes.
the Mafia,
And then,
the Mafia All-Star game for everyone in the whole world, right?
including Toogs.
It's supposed to represent the
didn't
best
say
of each
that,
community,
yeah.
not the best communities.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced he's the best of each community.
Well, I'm not convinced Alpha was the best of ours, but
He
we
wasn't
are
training
where we
to
are.
be an X-Man, so, there's that going for him.
But sadly, he may have been curb stomped in the Baltimore riots. So
Is that where he's from?
he's from Maryland, so one can assume.
He might have been down there joining them.
Hmm.
Were there any white people rioting in the riots? I don't know.
White people don't riot.
White people don't loot, but they scavenge,
They
right?
riot.
Is that what they call?
So yeah,
I mean, Black Friday sales are a different story, but in general, that's, that's a black people thing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
is there? Well, okay. So, 40 people signed up.
yes,
How many people do you think are going to show up to play?
I think everybody.
It's one downside of having an extended sign-up period, right?
Well, we know Zoolander will show up probably on day 2.
Referencing day 1.
Yeah. Bull Dancer and Hikatom will when they actually realize they get pinged.
Hmm.
They're like the only two that I'm really worried about activity-wise.
Really? Out of all 40 people?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Syndicate players are all pretty active. Augustus is vouching for the GTF players for being active. So I'm not too worried about any of them. All the other players are pretty much relatively active.
What about all the old SRK members dusting off their accounts and coming out of retirement? Like
Well,
90s
was
Arcade,
always
and you got Third Strike
active.
Love.
Yeah.
Third Strike Love is another one that's a question mark because sometimes he has literally posted in threads that he got high and forgot the game started.
So it's Oz's alternate account, is what you're saying?
Confirmed. If Ice Edge doesn't have a 22-hour flight across the U.S., we'll be fine.
I didn't even realize he was part of it. That's kind of interesting. So you got a lot of people coming off retirement, so congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
we got two from TZ showing up, Ice Edge and GCL.
So last time the last Mafia game ended, everyone seemed to kind of be burned out a little bit, right? There was a lot of sentiment that people kind of thought maybe we were pushing it too much. Is that why you're doing like an extended time between games, or?
Well, there's several reasons. One, I was wanting a big game. I was wanting to capitalize on the GOC, try and get some people interested from there, which worked. Two,
You're welcome.
yeah, thanks Alpha for actually representing us enough that people would want to play. And then two, I kind of just wanted to give people a little time to cool down. Plus, we got Whispers running for the salt factor. And then three, Pimp Willy's got some tricks up his sleeve that would cause me to want to extend the signups.
It's true. Maybe we'll cover those a little bit today, maybe? I don't know. I didn't really
I think that's something to cover.
We can cover that.
We also cover, there was a really good reason to extend the sign-up thread. And, Pimp Willy had a nice little story time for us.
Oh, we're gonna talk about my my Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Well,
we were reliving the '90s through this thread, right? Everyone was posting their best stuff of the '90s. Yeah.
So Pimp Willy just posts up a story about how he was on Legends of the Hidden Temple, and
well, kind of, right?
for like a brief second.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could do it as much justice.
The salt building in his face.
Well, as a kid, I don't know if I was salty as much as I was just shattered. But basically, the gist of the story is I was able to go as a walk-on on Legends of the Hidden Temple. And normally they would sign kids up and make them go through this whole like training process, blah, blah, blah. But for some reason, some kid backed out. So I lived in the area. I was able to swing by the studio. They called up my mom. I was on a list. Get down here. You can be on Legends of the Hidden Temple. I showed up. I got partnered with this chick who, I don't remember her name, but supposedly some great athlete. She had been through the whole training process and everything. I was the only one there that hadn't. So we get to the first obstacle, which is a big pit of water, and you have to swing across. There's like floating platforms, and you got to like jump from platform to platform with a rope above you or something. And she got so scared of the water that she couldn't make it across the first time. Like, she couldn't even make it across once. So she got stuck halfway and held on for her dear life in this 2-foot deep water pool until every other team had already qualified, and I didn't even get to step on foot on the course. And the only consolation prize I got out of the whole thing was my stupid red Jaguar shirt, which is one of the worst teams.
One of those nice East Pack backpacks.
I don't even remember. I'm sure they had like consolation prizes or participation prizes or whatever. But yep, and that was it. And I didn't get to get on the course. I didn't even really get to be on TV, except for in the background because she was stuck on the course, and I they didn't want to show her because they felt bad, I guess, you know. Oh, look, we made a little kid cry. So they kind of like every shot was like showing the other teams and not her. And
Quality family entertainment, watching kids cry.
yep.
Yeah. Speaking of making little kids cry, we've got a Hearthstone tournament coming up.
Ooh. Good transition there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice.
which person on this podcast has made a little kid cry by playing Hearthstone?
No, I don't think it was me.
No,
Was
I
it
don't.
you, Pib? No?
It was definitely me.
Well, I have, but I haven't done it on stream. So that's this guy down here, MP.
I'm proud of my callousness towards little kids playing.
So you
Trading
played a
Wait
Cards.
best.
baby.
You played a best 2 out of 3 against who?
Your
My son. My
Yeah,
son.
your son.
Charles. Professor X is his nickname because his name is Charles Xavier. He's awesome. So Professor X. You played the best 2 out of 3. How old was he at the time?
4.
He was 4 years old. And what was the result of that best of 3?
It was 2-1.
2-1. So you're saying you actually lost to a 4-year-old?
I tanked and played a hunter deck that I had not even tested yet, though.
And you think his deck was particularly well crafted?
It was a starter deck, wasn't it?
No, actually, it was a custom deck. It was. But when
It was
you
better than my
beat
hunter.
him in the 3rd game, you reduced him to tears. And he has never fully recovered from that. And I don't think he's even played Hearthstone since. He basically, I mean, he has now and then.
Crusher.
You pretty much crushed his dreams, and he hasn't wanted to play since.
Well, we just so happen to have a psychologist on JTM if he ever needs one.
It's true. I think we need to delve into that. He's been irrationally angry since. I think you've shattered his ego, and also just like took away his passion. And now he's only wants to play Minecraft. So look what you've done.
Sounds
What
like
have
what I
you
did
done?
to
Andy?
Kaz.
You're a fucking monster.
Yeah,
Minecraft?
Minecraft.
Oh my god.
Well,
Disgusting.
I do have a history doing this. Kaz, Charlie, Crusher of Egos.
So you did beat a 4-year-old, so congratulations. However,
Yeah,
you did lose the next streamed best of 3, right? Do you
I'm
remember
going to
who
get that run
was
back
that against?
in the
Somebody
tournament.
called RadicalFuzz?
I mean, losing to somebody called RadicalFuzz, that'd be humiliating, surely.
Yeah. I think he's a little upset there.
Yeah, okay. Just a little.
Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't care.
Clearly.
So he did beat you. I think he beat you 2-1, right?
Yes.
So, you know, he's a notch above my 4-year-old. Which is still a notch above you, correct?
Yep.
I'm going to get
So
that run back.
That puts you in between Fuzz and a 4-year-old.
I'm going to
Yeah,
hack,
we got like
place to be?
4-year-old
I'm gonna hack the bracket.
MP Fuzz
Fuzz.
in this region, right? And they can
Yeah.
all fluctuate, I know. And we'll find out because in about 2 weeks we're having our own Hearthstone tournament, correct?
Yeah.
I think we made MP so salty he froze. He like ripped his
God dang it.
computer
Can you hear
out
me?
of the wall and threw it.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you
We
had
can
that
hear
look on
you.
your
All right,
face.
let me fix
Your
my camera.
webcam.
Yeah. So we're running a tournament. It's geared towards new players. So if you're watching this, you're new to Hearthstone, which it just launched on phone, so there's a lot of new players. You only have to provide one deck instead of like multiple decks, and we're not allowing any cards higher than rare. So you can use commons, basics, and rares. No epics, no legendaries. And that's supposed to even the playing field. Theoretically, it evens the playing field for players that don't have that big of a collection. Like
So
the
yeah,
missing
you've
person.
got 8 people signed up for that?
I think I was hoping to get like I was gonna do this whole elaborate, group stage finals thing. It didn't really work out, so we're just looking at like probably like an 8-man double elimination tournament right now, and we're still looking to fill out the 8. I think we're at like 5 or 6
There we
right
go.
now. So,
All right, I'm back.
yes, you are back. So that's
So, yeah.
so if you're listening to this, you're new to Hearthstone, you're interested in playing, come by Jesus Toast Mafia and sign up. I am giving a $20 Battle.net gift card to the winner in order to buy more packs, theoretically.
And you can use that $20 to buy a Lando on Heroes of the Storm.
You can buy a Lando mount on Heroes of the Storm. You can buy the new Kael'thas hero coming out next week, if you like fire mages. Yeah, you can use it to buy Diablo 3, which is an awesome game. Overwatch, you see that Overwatch poster behind me? You could save it and put it towards Overwatch when it launches next year.
Oh, that game looks so good.
I'll just get a discount on Blackrock Mountain if I win.
Blackrock Mountain, I mean, $20 towards the $25 on Blackrock Mountain.
Yep.
Which was actually a really awesome set.
I still have not gotten any Google Play cards because it still does not open my store on mobile.
Have you? I don't know what's up with that. There's something.
I added my credit card and I don't get it.
I still don't get it. Maybe submit a ticket to Blizzard support. They'll help you.
Yeah, I probably will.
The best story I have from Blackrock Mountain is I've been trying to make this Dragon Paladin deck work because they released a ton of dragons in the set. So there's this card, it's one of the worst cards in the game that Warlock has, called Sacrificial Pact. And I think MP tried to play this card for a while because he thought it was good.
Yeah, I did.
It's 0 mana, sacrifice a demon, and gain 5 life. But like the only class that runs demons is Warlocks. So the only time you'd ever use it is pretty much in the mirror match or sacrificing your own creature. It's a pretty ridiculous card, wasted a slot. However, there is this new card called Nefarian. He's like a big dragon. When you play him, he gives you 2 random spells from your opponent's class. So last night I was playing against a Warlock who played Jaraxxus. Jaraxxus makes you replace your hero with this big, strong guy, 15 health, summons, demons every turn. He's like really hard to beat. Basically, you get him really low, they play Jaraxxus, heal themselves up, and they're really hard to finish off. You have to basically do 15 points of burst right away. Nefarian gave me Sacrificial Pact. And what you can do is you can play that against the enemy hero and actually just kill their hero. You sacrifice their hero as the demon. And it's the most awesome combination ever, and I was able to pull it off.
Wow.
And I was pretty amazing.
That's a golf clap.
It is very much a golf clap. So I really, the deck's not strong, but it's fun. And I turned a worthless card into a good card. So that seems to be what they do. They make cards that force you to play with the terrible cards. Which actually works. It's kind of interesting. Anyways, Hearthstone, 2 weeks. I think we said it was going to be the 22nd.
Yeah.
Friday the 22nd at night, 2 weeks from now, about 8 p.m. Pacific time, which I think works. We'll have to see. We got a big time zone spread. I don't know what your guys' time zone is like. So 8 p.m. for us is what for you guys?
8 p.m. is 11 a.m. here on Saturday.
Okay, that's actually not bad. Perfect. So that covers Hearthstone.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, check on the forum, sign up. Yeah.
Or you can just stream Monster like Alpha will.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll definitely be there.
He'll be playing League of Legends and watching it over here.
Couldn't see that. LOL.
Yep. So
yeah, I think that about covers what's been happening in the 2 weeks since our last podcast.
Yeah.
Anything else on the agenda? I mean, I know we were going to talk about the upcoming stuff I've been working on, and the reason I'm not playing in the current name.
Absolutely. One of the reasons why I've actually kept the signups open, and I just want to delay Fuzz getting on here as long as possible.
Okay, we can bring him on and then talk about it.
Hadn't even
and then
told
just say we ran out of time, Jimmy Kimmel style.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring Fuzz on and do his interview and then close with the upcoming site features?
Just invite him to the call and then just all hang up as soon as you get to
Alright.
So yeah, this new feature.
I think you invited Fuzz.
Should we invite him? I was just talking to make sure he's available. Of course, I don't have him on there. So let me.
I've got him on Zoom, so I can.
You can add him. Okay, yeah, invite him then.
All right.
So we're inviting RadicalFuzz, who's been a topic of conversation this whole podcast. Right? We talked about his
Just in general.
magical drawings. We talked about him beating Missing Person in Hearthstone. Yeah. You guys can't seem to stop talking about him. Do you like wake up in the?
I think Alpha's secretly in love with him.
I don't think it's much of a secret, is it?
It's not like I like him.
Yeah,
Fucker.
it's like when you're in 3rd grade and the girl's like hitting the boy and she's like, I don't like you, go away, and then like she goes home and like draws a picture like Mrs. Fuzz, you know, that kind of
Have
stuff.
like the shrine in the closet.
Right. His little like some hair that she had found like loose, just kind of pasted to like.
Hopefully, Senpai will notice me.
Helga style from Hey Arnold, which also leads back to our 90s game.
Well, I know what your roles are going to be if you come up rollless now.
That's right. Now you got to start coming up. You got 40 people, and you have like
Yeah.
how many roles? Like 13 roles.
I believe it's about 13 or something.
Okay, so that's like 27 rollless cards you have to come up with. 27
At
characters from the 90s.
At least.
Well, like I always say when I'm starting games, if you come up rollless, PM me if you have any requests.
Yeah, I like to do that too.
So it's fun.
But then you're always
I wish
scrambling
I-
last minute to make the roll card.
Yeah, I wish I had watched Breaking Bad, so I wouldn't have ended up as Marie.
Marie.
Thank you, Forge, for that.
Yeah, somebody requested you die as Marie, so.
Yeah.
Was it Forge? I might have been Forge, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Forge.
Forge.
Okay.
It was the salt from the lynch. And I've invited Puzz 3 times.
Well, while that's working, we could talk about the new feature that we're implementing.
Yeah,
might as well.
might as well so we don't have any downtime. He's, I don't even see him online on my computer.
God dang it.
He was watching the podcast, chatting it
Yeah.
up. So, one of the things we've been wanting to do for a long time, segueing into this new segment, is adding enhanced features to the forum that you would expect from a Mafia site, right? Most sites that are out there have a thing which is like a vote bot, right? So as you post your votes in the thread, this bot will basically keep track of your votes and display them. You know, I think normally what happens is the GM runs a program locally on their computer, and they have a second account, and they can basically grab a snapshot of what the current votes are and then copy paste it into the thread, right? So you have some format for when you vote. Right now we just say like lynch RadicalFuzz, and it's like bolded and underlined, and that's how you signify I want to vote for this person. And then it's the GM's responsibility to go through the thread, go through every post, and then make sure that they do it right. And it's prone to errors.
Which is a pain in the butt.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt to get it right because somebody might change their vote and you missed it, or you might have just missed a vote, or somebody is mobile and they can't bold and underline, or or somebody says, "Oh, that was just a fake vote. I was just pretending." Like, there's a lot of things that can happen.
Yeah. So one of the alternatives we have had was PM voting.
That was one of the things I came up with on Sure You Can a while ago.
Which can be iffy.
It can. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like it, but there is a valid strategy between it creates a different feeling in the game for sure.
Yeah.
PM voting versus like public voting, right? Because there's a whole layer of deception, like people that say, "Oh, I just voted for so and so" when they really didn't, and I do that all the time. Anytime I ever say in the thread, "Just locked in on so and so," 90% of the time I didn't really do it. I'm just
Like Augustus in the All-Star game where he said he's voting for Fuzz and then he voted for Bias. And
Yeah.
He told me his hand slipped and he.
And the thread's never 100% sure what the current vote state is, right?
Right.
Which can be both good and bad. It's not. I don't know if one is inherently Mafia favored versus Civ favored, really, because when everything's public, the Mafia can see where all the votes are and vote accordingly too. Whereas when it's privately voted, they're still kind of unsure. They have to like balance themselves just as well too. But so I'm not sure which one is more favored than the other. However, that is one method that we've used because it's easier on the GM, because I go to my inbox and I can go through everyone's votes really quick. You don't allow people to change votes because that just makes it more complicated. Basically, it's just a way for the be easier on the GM.
All right.
So, since we now have our own website, we have our own host, server running our site dedicated. What I've finally been working on for the past couple weeks is a automatic vote counter. So we're going to define like a new tag for the forum, which is like bracket V, and within that V bracket, you place the name of the person you're voting for, and my vote bot will automatically parse that, grab your vote, store it, and it will actually automatically post into the thread with the current vote tally. Is there anything?
Then at the end of the day, the GM can just copy paste that.
Right. The GM will have a current vote tally like all the time, and
Yes.
what I'm programming it to do like it's going to automatically run every 30 minutes, and it'll only post the results if there's been a new vote since the last time I posted. And this program will be running all the time on our server, not even like locally on the GM's machine where, I got to run this program on my computer and grab the votes and have it post. No. This is going to be running on our server 24/7 all the time. And if you start a game thread, it's going to pick up on there's a new game started and automatically do its thing. The GM doesn't have to do anything.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, the GM just makes a thread, and then bam, this vote bot is running on your game and doing it all for you. I think I'm still trying to figure out, but like I think you're gonna have to. The GM will define like players. They'll make like a players tag with a list of all the current players in the game.
That's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, so like that way you define these are the 12 people that are playing. So the vote bot will only allow votes against those 12 people, and it'll only allow those people to cast votes, which is already taken care of by the forum anyways. But
yeah, but still,
there could be a case where we're running 2 games at the same time, and in a case like that, you would need to have this player list,
right?
Because you can only vote for people in your own game, right?
Yeah, and eventually, I think we're going to get there. I mean, 40 people in this game. We have 84 members so far.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps growing like this, we could eventually have more than one game running at the same time.
Especially if you're doing something like our Team Fortress 2 game, The Proving Grounds, where you had a red versus blue game. There might be a GM crazy enough to try to run 2 games at once. I don't know.
I'll never do it again.
It was interesting, especially making the write-ups kind of go across each other. But
Yeah.
It hurt my brain too much to write up that much at once. So I just started writing stuff on no sleep.
It's a better way to do the writing. I used to really put a lot of effort into doing the write-ups, and then now I realize, I'd rather have the game run faster and smoother, and the write-ups are secondary. And I think with Breaking Bad, I did the most minimal write-ups like ever, and I try to use video clips from the show whenever possible.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to bring it back this time. I'm really going to bring the write-ups the caliber of write-ups that people are used to, at least from me. May also have some guest writers.
So that should help GMs, right? Because the whole effort of trying to grab the votes and make sure everything is in order, that time sync is gone and automated now, which should be a big help for the GMs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we have joining us RadicalFuzz, the man himself.
Hello.
So what are you doing in my podcast?
I don't even see him.
You can't see him, MP.
Well, it's MP. Give him a minute.
So in addition to the vote counter, I mean that's phase 1, right? I've been working on this vote counter. I'm hoping to get it running by the time the game launches, and this game will probably be the beta test for the vote counter. So that should hopefully be done by the time this game starts. But the cool thing is, since most of these types of programs, they run on somebody's computer and they scrape the HTML of the page, right? You point it at the thread, it grabs the HTML, and it goes through and processes like that. But the cool thing about what I'm doing is, since we own the database ourselves, we're not. Oop, let me add.
Rip MP.
Yeah, let me.
Shining that and taking down. Yeah, he said he invited me multiple times, but I didn't get anything. And then he was on his phone, so he didn't see when I was asking for the number. For whatever reason, Alpha's number that he gave me wasn't working. And then Pimp finally saw his Skype messages. Got me.
You sent it like right at like I answered within like a minute. No.
Of the second one.
5 minutes. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. My bad. I was too busy talking about this vote counter. Anyways, the cool thing about what we do is, instead of doing it all like third party, we're like opening up a browser window and grabbing the HTML and scraping it and then putting the text back into the box and having something automatically submit it, which is how most of them work. Is I'm able to tap directly into the database and do everything at the database level. So you have, the server, and within that server, this vote bot will be running. So it has way more power to do anything we need it to, right? It can post to the forum automatically. It can read anyone's post automatically. And it what that gives me is the power to do way more like powerful features. So like one of the things that I was teaching myself how to do this all from scratch, right? I'm writing it in Ruby on Rails. First time ever using it, never worked with it before like last week. So what I was able to do is actually set up a post counter, which is one of the highest requested features on our forum right now, right? Like they want to be able to like, for a certain thread, tell me how many posts each person has. And I was able to write one, and I have it working already. Like you can point, I can point it at any thread on our forum, and it comes back and tells me for each player how many posts do they have.
As long as you have sufficient privileges.
Right, and that was another thing, right? So like you have the login for Jesus Toast Mafia, and I wanted to make sure to reuse that login information, and so I know which player's using it. Because otherwise, what would happen when I put up the first version is I pointed at the Mafia forum, and I can get a list of all the Mafia posting and see who the Mafia is, right? So now what it does is it taps into your Jesus Toast Mafia login, and when you're logged in, it'll only let you view post count threads that you have permission to do, like you would expect a full-fledged like web app, like a application to do. So this is just a glimpse of some of the exciting stuff that we have coming down the road. I'm gonna continue working on cool features. So if you guys have any ideas for stuff you'd like to see added to the forum, make sure to put them up in our suggestions thread, and I'll get on it. And there's more things we're working on too. I don't know if we probably won't talk about those today, but we have more coming down the road in addition to just post counts and vote bots. That should.
It's gonna make this forum extra special.
Yeah, we're gonna keep growing it. We're gonna try to get some cool features and make people want to come back.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna host our own game of champions with blackjack and hookers.
Yep.
And screw 2+2. Like, why are you hosting a Mafia game on a poker website?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on. We have a whole website dedicated to playing.
Pimp, there's one feature I think is extremely necessary.
Okay.
You need to make an alpha bot that when it detects a new threat has gone up, immediately posts Lynch RadicalFuzz. It's like a 1 second delay.
I think I could do that. I mean, I could do that easily. And it won't even be an alpha bot. It'll just be posted from Alpha's account, because I can do that.
just
Even better.
It'll still get MP4'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a legitimate vote. Automatic.
Make sure that it only posts the second post in the thread.
OP counts as the first post.
Yeah. So I you know what? That may be a feature coming down the road.
The new meta is to never make a post. So that way
If Alpha's in the game and Fuzz is in the game, it votes for Fuzz day one.
Ultimate wallflowering.
I'm also programming it in so anytime anyone posts Lynch Pimp Willy, it like changes the vote to somebody else. But don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Don't worry, we'll keep it a secret.
The only way you're gonna survive.
RadicalFuzz is posted to Lynch Augustus. Augustus, it wasn't me. I promise. I tried to.
My hand slipped.
I think there was a bug in the system. Let me try again.
Yeah.
Lynch Augustus.
So, I mean, also that's one of the reasons why I'm not signed up for this game, because I will be tweaking this vote bot during the game, right? I'm sure it's not going to be bug free out of the gate.
It's completely in alpha phase right now.
Yeah.
Which is to say it's horribly broken and just keeps voting for me. some reason.
I don't know why.
No,
It's
that's
weird.
in phase. That's gold.
Oh, okay.
That was a
Don't
feature.
worry, I've already got Alpha. I've already got your vote. I'm counted on my spreadsheet.
Is that just like saved into the template?
It really should
It
be.
should be.
Yeah.
So, coming
Yeah.
soon is enhanced features to the Jesus Toast Mafia website.
What you said, MP, you said the game's going to start on Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Wednesday.
Okay.
I did get one person saying that Wednesday would be much better, so I may start it Wednesday, probably Wednesday morning.
Okay.
And I had a... Oh, sorry,
Go ahead. No, it's not important. Don't worry about it.
Mine isn't either, so go ahead.
I can officially wallflower because I'm going to be on vacation for that week.
Are you going to be able to vote?
Yeah, I can probably connect by my phone, just be like, Lynch Alpha, why not? I should really start doing that, like leading like counter lynch wagons on you for no reason. But then it just feels
Every
like
time you've done that, you've been Mafia, I'm pretty sure.
It'll just be yaoi fan fiction in a week.
freaking it's Alpha. It wasn't already.
I
It's
mean,
in his-
90s Yowie, that's some top tier stuff.
So one of the things that the Game of Champions did is expose me to like a lot of these other forums, and I was like looking at some of them, you know, to see how do other people play Mafia that's different from us. And one thing I saw, which really blew my mind, was that a lot of people run game phases with like it's like an infinite amount of time for a day phase, right? Have you seen this? Like
Yeah,
basically,
That's-
the
Where they
the
choose
phase
to play?
doesn't end until it has like 70% vote on a certain person or something like that.
Majority is-
It's like they
Yeah.
set a time limit, but then it can end early if they have enough votes. But the time limit is like
Smashboards does that.
really. So this
Yeah.
this one site I
That's
went
right,
to,
Smashboards.
it was a 30 days for day one.
That's what my username 22 had said that he's used to playing.
Really?
Oh.
30 days for a day one phase.
month one.
Can you wrap your head around that for a minute?
And it's just Alpha, just like a month-long like campaign to get me lynched, and it's slowly
Could
getting
you
closer.
imagine all the MS Paint images I could make in that time?
Like everyone's just getting tired of it. Like, you know, Fuzz has like 2 more lynches than everybody. No, please.
What would you talk about for 30 days? Like day one is like the day
Venus
with
is-
like the least amount to really go on.
MP's habit of making small children cry.
It's true.
Well, you know, that's
Don't
30
worry,
days.
he'll be the
somebody
next one
still
I
broke.
make cry.
Yeah, 30 days. That's 30 days for somebody to forget they're
never
playing in the
playing
game.
Just wait. The brackets. Teredius will be on my side. The bracket will work in my favor. I will get my run back.
MP, where were you when Teredius appeared? Nowhere. You were nowhere to be found. I was right next to this
I
man.
was killing people that couldn't read last gasp. What were you doing?
I was founding the religion, the cult, the shrine, whatever you want to call
That
it.
was blind hag.
Of Torettis or
Oh,
Teredius?
sorry, I thought you said Torettis. Well, you can take your false god Teredius then. I got Torettis.
Lies.
Cult of Torettis,
I
baby.
killed them. I'm just mod killing you just for saying that in this game.
I was the creator of the world that created Teridius, so I know what's going on.
That's true.
But Bias, oh god, that means Bias created something. Bias was creator of the world that created Torettus. Actually, I kind of want to credit that. Well, I guess.
So
No.
yeah, you want to be a part of a cult that Bias created. That's what you're saying.
Well, that was Pimp created, which means it's much safer.
You're really scoring points with Alpha right now.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know that,
yeah.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
you and Bias together, you know, that's just a great combination.
Like, there needs to be a role where you can lynch 2 people. Like, you can vote for 2 separate people. And if they're tied, they can both get lynched. Just give it to Alpha every game.
Haven't we done that where your vote counts as 2 and you could maybe theoretically split the votes into 2 different people?
That's right, Lando.
Yeah, but Pimp, you must never let this run back happen. It's up to you.
It's up to Torettis.
Yeah.
He's gonna see the brackets.
Yes.
How much do I need to
Oh
donate?
no,
to
it's Tim's
Torettis?
game, so it'll be Torettis. So
It's
it'll be the
Torettis.
evil RNG.
That's right.
Oh wait, Torettis with an I? That's the 3rd god?
There's
I-
Torettis and Torettius, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were saying Torettis with an I. It's like there's a new player.
Isn't mine the one that has an I? Turretis?
Yes.
Oh wait, I
thought-
thought yours was the one with the U.
TUS, I thought yours was.
Yeah.
I don't even know my own gods. I've turned my back on Tourettus, and now I'm in Tourettus.
You shall
Wait,
be
no, it was the
forsaken.
other way around. You invented Tourette us, and now you're going to Tourette.
I think you're right. I forget. I'll remember when I type it. I can
This
type it. I don't
theology
say
is
it.
Getting too confusing.
It comes from my hands. It just flows. So
I just
not my mouth.
From the soul.
I need advice from Toogs on this.
So on the flip side of,
so many letters in it.
there's the 30 day day ones. That's a weird thing to say. And then on the flip side, you have these turbos, which are like, what, 1 hour phases? Is that about how turbos
That
go?
happens on 2+2 a lot.
Right, I've seen a couple
Like
forums that do like the
20
turbos.
30-minute phases,
So that's just Skype Mafia over forum.
basically.
Kinda, or like Epic Mafia, right? But like a little too. Like if you're gonna play a game that short, just play like Epic Mafia. Why are you gonna do it? Like if you're gonna do 30 minutes to an hour day phases, then that's like 8 hours. You gotta sit at your computer straight. That's a long time to dedicate to playing a game.
Well, not really. Not on 2+2 because it's like 9 or 11 players for those turbos. So it's more
Okay.
like,
So they go quick.
yeah,
It's still a couple
You get-
hours.
you can get to lynch or lose very quickly.
So whenever you see these people that show up at Game of Champions and they're like, I've played in 1,513 games, and I have a 63.9% win rate. And it's like, yeah, they're probably all turbos.
That's what we should have sent Pimp. It's like, I played in 10 games and won one. Like, this is the best player on JTM. The win rate of 15%.
That was
Wait,
true
you
on
said
Sure You Can.
10 games, win one, and he's got a 15% win rate.
That was my Sure You Can win rate was abysmal. I think it was like probably like 20%, something like that. It was
You
like
only won one in like your last few games. I think you won one
I
or
did.
two.
I did have a 12-game losing streak or 9-game losing streak, something like that.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think your first thing was Danganronpa.
Was it? It might have been. Yeah.
Oh
think
god,
so,
I
yeah.
forgot all about that.
I
I'd
won.
rather
I
forget about
won the All-Star game. Somehow you guys voted me to be an All-Star, even though I didn't win. I was the best player that couldn't win.
That was beautiful.
that. You're welcome.
It was such a glorious enigma.
It made no sense. Like even if you're a bad player, statistically you'd win more than that.
Exactly. See, and then you went on to found Tourettus. It all adds up.
I had to rebirth myself on Jesus Toast.
He was leading you to
Baptize
that
me.
conclusion.
The board again, Teredian.
Yeah. So
Correct him.
I think I'm like 4th place in the
Correct.
ELO, aren't I?
Who got the yellow?
Does anyone know?
I'm probably good. There's a very good chance that I will no longer be first place after this game, just because I'm running the game.
Yep, you are 4th place.
There you go. So I'm not that bad anymore. And I actually, I also didn't get to play one of the games because I was running one of them too, so I don't have as many games under my belt. I'm tied. I'm 4th place, but the 3 ahead of me are all tied for 1st somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it'll probably change after this game.
Oh, I'm
Right.
sure.
It'll
Oh,
either be-
There's going to be a lot of people added to the ladder.
And the reason why
Oh,
people are
yeah.
tied is because they were on the same allegiance for the 2 games or 3 games we had. So whether they won or lost, they're tied.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of weird that me, Chief, and Jason have somehow been on the same allegiance for 3 straight games.
Oh,
Wait,
is
that's not even
weird?
true, right?
Not
'Cause
me,
Chief-
Sad, and Forge all being sit for 3 games, so clearly one of us is Mafia this game.
That's true.
I
That's
got it
still-
right.
But
Like,
in the Disney game, wasn't it me, Missing Person, and Jason? We were all Mafia, right?
Jason was the
Oh,
traitor.
The third party.
Yeah.
Or-
Did he get the same ELO as Mafia for that game, or more?
Yes.
Okay,
He
but
got the
Chief
same-
Chief wasn't Mafia with us that game, was he?
Yeah, he was.
but
Yeah.
he was cheap, so he said absolutely nothing.
And he got killed.
Or that.
Maybe that's right.
Yeah,
I
he
don't-
got-
got
thought we
Vigi
were-
Black?
Getting OZ dead, and we thought he was Vigi. We were wrong, and he got shot.
Okay, so I just remembered it wrong. So yeah, so the people at the top have won every game, and they've all been on the same team. So.
Yep.
But for 3 people to do that, to win 3 games and be on the same team, that's pretty good.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But
Some
might be able to
people
split
have to
2
be
of them up
carried
this
one
game.
game.
If
I didn't
you're
realize.
staring at your computer with like the soul-destroying glare. Some people have to be carried.
So, yeah. So I won't be playing in this game either, so I'll lose some spot, I'm sure.
There's
Well,
gonna be
no, but given your win rate, you would actually have gone down if you played.
But that's the whole point. My win rate. I haven't lost a game on Jesus Toast, have I?
yeah, you have Proving Grounds.
But that didn't affect the
Why the
ELO.
hell was Pimp
Well, it didn't
Proving
affect
Grounds?
the ELO.
Yeah, that was before the ELA was implemented.
I was in Proving Grounds because I GM'd the All-Star game.
Oh, okay.
So
But,
that
like
was-
that's like remember the Proving Grounds game where Synonym was in it?
And no one
That
listened to
was
it.
entertainment.
He was still a new player at the time.
Well, yes, but he had played 2 or 3 games, and it was like
You only played one game before that.
only one.
Yeah,
Resident
Resident Evil.
Oh, okay, and based off that game, then
It was like his
I mean,
debut
that's like-
into our
Yeah.
meta.
that's like Justin Wong not being ranked and going to an Arcadian. Well, I'm not ranked.
But I mean, he was at the time. He wasn't ranked. Like nobody really knew his
I
potential,
know.
right?
No
Looking
one knew
back
his
on it,
potential.
It's
looking back on it, it's still.
But-
The only
better
person
example would
that
be like Justin Wong before a tournament debut, but still as good as his tournament level. It's kind of showing up.
And I'm still
Well, that
not
was
convinced Synonym is real. I still think he's just a homeless guy that Alpha pays to come on webcam sometimes. And I'm pretty sure it's just Alpha's second account.
Yeah, I can't afford the extra to get him to lynch Fuzz every phase, but you know, he's there for a reason.
Well, if he lynched Fuzz every phase, it would just be a dead giveaway.
Yeah, I guess so.
dead giveaway.
Then that would be
Yeah,
using
he's
logic on
not
day one. And Alpha can't use logic on day
We
one.
would know that Alpha was Synonym. So, what's this whole story? He magically went to the army when he's in his mid-40s.
And then he shaved his hair. And,
Does he look like he's in his mid-40s?
I don't know, no. But yes, everyone in Australia looks like they're in their mid-40s because they've been through some shit.
Clearly.
All the
Especially
rattlesnakes
Orlando.
and kangaroos that you have to fight on a daily
And the
basis.
drop bears.
Drop
It's a
bears.
daily struggle.
And hanging upside down all day.
Oh, yeah.
With the freaking like pink unicorn backer. It's a daily
See,
struggle.
that's the cool blood rushes to our head because we're upside down. So that's how we get the...
Oh, and you build your houses upside down too. So that way
Yeah,
it
cool.
looks normal to the uninformed masses.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's smart.
Struggle is real, mate.
So are we here to do a Fuzz interview? Is that what
Oh,
I'm to
yeah.
understand?
Welcome, RadicalFuzz, to the JTN Salted by the
Our
Podcast.
apologies to RadicalFuzz. We ran out of time.
All right, let's go cut to the music.
I don't know why. You're 2 hours late to begin with.
I woke up this morning not knowing I was going to be on hosting a podcast and said, "Hey Pimp, you want to host a podcast?" And I'm like half asleep, like, "Okay."
I woke up this morning thinking I would be on a podcast. And then I wasn't. And now I am. The great life story.
It's true.
I just loved dashing your hopes and bringing them back up to dash them a little bit more.
Yeah, sorry, we don't have time for you, Fuzz. I'm cutting to the music.
Okay. Means I can do better things in my life. I'm talking to people. And just like here, I want to run back. I want to run back.
You owe me a run back after I had.
I owe you nothing.
You owe me the run back after Whispers.
Okay, one, that was legit. Okay, unless Synonym rigged it, that was legitimate, best possible RNG. Like me getting the immortal roll in a game with Alpha. Like
With 10
town
alphas.
announced you cannot vote for this person. Immortal roll.
Fucking hecatomb.
And then it's just
I
like
still voted for you, though.
I know, naturally. It makes me so very happy inside.
So yeah, I think we've got some questions for you, possibly. Maybe.
We'll start with Alpha because I know he's chomping at the bit to get at you.
Question 1, why are you such a faggot?
Question 2.
No, that's actually what I got written for question 1, so you know, you have to answer it now.
Wait, okay, how'd you spell faggot? Like with a G-E-T or G-double-G-O-T?
Double GOT.
Oh, okay, legitimate question.
That's offensive.
Stronger.
Yeah, the gay team forum style. Okay, so yeah, question.
Okay, answer. I'm trying to figure out what you actually want to hear with this question.
And then not say it.
But we already had Tugs on 2 weeks ago.
He's just a standard gay person. I wouldn't call him a faggot.
Standard. Oh my gosh. I love Mafia so much. Actually, I legitimately don't know why. Not. I know you don't have a serious beef with me. I don't know what your issue with me is. You still refuse to tell me. So I gotta pass.
The hate is real.
You know how we were talking earlier about having some third grade girl with a closet drawing in hair? Like, that's what Fuzz has for you. That's what he has for Fuzz. That's what Alpha has for Fuzz. He has a secret crush on you, just like, you know, girls when they're young, they don't know how to just, they like, oh, I don't like you, Fuzz.
So that's where the hair comes from. Okay.
And the Lando.
And it all makes it makes a lot more sense.
Do you have a tag on Lando, like a name tag, like a collar? I think he's frozen.
Just frozen with that face.
Yeah. That was the moment he realized that he was in love with Fuzz.
He pulled the plug.
Oh man, just the amount of wrong in that. The wrong in that phrase just made my internet go, no, fuck this.
Just that expression.
He secretly calls his Lando Fuzz when he's not on stream.
Oh, senpai!
I've seen him.
Oh, Fuzz could never hope to be as good as Lando.
That's fine with me.
I mean, it goes
That unicorn
4-year-old
horn.
missing
sees some
person,
use,
Fuzz,
some
and then
song.
Lando's like up there.
Okay, I can live with that. You really thought you were going to get above me or the 4-year-old? Like, both at the same time? No. You have to wait till next season when we get the new ELO boards for how bad MP is at Hearthstone. I want to clarify something. You would probably whoop my butt 2-0 in Hearthstone. And I will admit that 2-1 victory was 90% fluke. But I'm never going to play you again in this video game.
Didn't I coach you?
When the bracket does show up as me and you?
Yes.
That is not one of my interview questions.
You only beat him because I told you to play mage against his druid, and that's why you won.
That's true. That's probably, if nothing else, that's the tiny. Whether even if it was tiny, it was probably tipped it over. Mm-hmm. Pimp Willy, thank you for increasing MP's sodium levels.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
right.
to deflate that sodium, I'll let you ask the next question, MP.
Why does my Mafia playstyle drive you so insane?
40% of the time, I don't really like. I like what you're doing. It's like, okay, you're trying to get things organized, but then since we moved to JTM, you get this kind of. I'm not saying there are situations in which there are correct things to do. Like, for example, in the Werewolves game, the bitch jail, that was the correct thing to do against Combo Knight. But I feel like you almost there are times when you go, you aren't like just to like anybody, not to someone who specifically has talked with you about this and has a stance on it, but just to, like, let's say like Toogs, you'll be like, that is wrong because policy, and you'll give a reason, but that is wrong, and then you'll think they're dirty because of that. But the issue is there are so many more situations that aren't just black and white where it's wrong and right. Like in this, not Breaking Bad, in this previous game, we had
Breaking Bad. Go ahead. Just
no, the spy game. I know that was 100% wrong. I'm not even arguing that. Not shooting on night 3, but the spy game, when we have the third party claim and you're still going for your Mafia read, I'm fine with you like acknowledging. I was fine with that. You acknowledged this is probably the poor play, but I'm super confident on this. And you were wrong, but it was fine. Like,
yeah.
I have an issue when you go kind of like someone says, I'm going to vote for X. And you say, based on it's policy, don't vote for X right now. You're wrong. And you are looking dirty now. Like, it's just, it doesn't feel like discussion. It feels like you're telling them they're dirty and expecting them. And it feels like you almost have the tunnel vision to where whatever they say, you're looking at it in a way that whatever they say will sound dirty. Kind of like what I kind of got on with TGG last game also about how he didn't really answer my question.
I did like those posts that you pushed on TGG though.
Right, but I was having an issue in that I was viewing kind of them as, I only realized this after I died, but I was viewing them kind of like he's kind of screwed either way. I could interpret this as Mafia either way. His responses once I actually addressed him about it. where he wanted to answer a question again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that could be wanting to fix it because he's dirty and valuable, or it could be just like wanting to fix it because he doesn't want to be unhelpful. It didn't, and that was something I should have seen earlier.
Yeah, that's well. As far as policy goes, I'm probably never going to step off of that. There is policy decisions that I have caught Mafia on. Pytastic being one of them. So you do have to factor that in, but I've been trying to be a little more observant, a little less tenderly.
Right.
I mean, the rule of thumb I do with MP is the more sure he is, the less likely that he's right.
So it's like if you're on a team, if we just lynch you, we know who's going to win. If it was on SRK, my bad. You brought that up several times. I've been wrong.
Yeah, that's changed. That's changed now.
Okay, obsolete.
You guys haven't caught on
how
yet.
sure was I on Code Jones though?
Oh, and the
Which game is that?
All Stars.
Okay, I have not a huge issue, but like a moderate issue with that. I feel that the pregame post was not legitimately role hunting. It was just him being kind of like saying something. What he was saying in third was legitimately dirty. I will give you that. And I can't know if I would still have issue with your pregame post dissection if I wasn't Mafia, but I think I would. I think I would still say, while what he said in here sounded like I will give you what he said in here. The pregame thing is kind of reaching, and the most it's done is caused a reaction that looks dirty.
Well, the reaction was I was pushing him based on that. I had not locked in at that point.
I wasn't implying you were locked in based on one pregame post.
What sold me.
Yeah. And then my glorious play just left Forge in a hole that she couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
Okay.
With me though, when you want to bring up like games that long ago about how you were right, then you got to look at the more recent games and see how you're wrong.
Of course, and that's why I've been retooling my game, which I started in this game. I was still wrong in this stuff, but look at how many others I readjusted off of from that. Because I already had Idabit on my list and was right on that. That Lynch actually turned me against Synonym, was right on that. Who was my next?
Didn't you die the night after Synonym?
It was Forge, and then after that, and if I had stayed alive, I actually would have been changing my stance on Kaz, so.
Yeah, but you were convinced I was dirty too, remember?
Huh?
You were convinced that I was dirty too.
If you were having so much...
You're always dirty.
Exactly. But you said you pride yourself in always being able to tell when I'm dirty. But I say you just always assume I'm dirty and then pat yourself on the back when you're right.
Well,
I still think we should have lynched you at the end, just to be sure. Just be sure.
I tried to help Kaz win. I did everything in my power. I told him I put my vote wherever he wanted. He wanted to go against me, and the thread turned on him, so that was his bad.
I love how you strike through your signature after that. I noticed that the other day, and it made me really happy.
Yeah, I had to strike through as soon as the game was over.
All right, so back to Alpha. You got any more questions for Fuzz?
Pimp, before we do that, do you have any questions?
Unfortunately, I don't off the top of my head because I didn't know I was gonna. I woke up this morning not knowing I was interviewing Fuzz, so I'll come up with one.
Yeah,
okay, wait,
cool.
no, I got one.
Nope.
Okay. You get a lot of like flack on this site. People like to give you a lot of, guff, especially like Alpha and Missing Person and
Everyone here.
Pretty much everyone, right?
Yeah.
Why do you keep coming back for it? Like, what makes you stick around and still play, even though people like to make you their whipping boy?
Because I know it's not legitimately serious. Like okay, TGG thinks I'm only using TGG as an example because this is recent and kind of easy to point to. He thinks that people legitimately don't want him on the site, and is kind of annoyed at that.
Yeah, that's actually true, and I don't understand that.
I don't either. That's I'm just saying he thinks people legitimately don't want him, and that's different than this. I know.
I don't have any problems with TGG though.
But I'm saying it's a different kind of poking. Like Alpha MPs, Synonym, they're just kind of ribbing at me, having fun. And we rip him back. Whenever he's wrong on a stiff length that he's 9% sure on, we just say Kaz, and he just kind of like hangs his head a little bit.
My penis shrinks a little bit every time.
Kaz. But
Now my penis is the size of synonyms.
I really need to watch the second half of that. Once Tortuga Grande came on, I just couldn't. I couldn't handle it. I was in a public place and I knew it wasn't going to work, so I postponed it. And I haven't gotten back to it yet.
Oh no!
That's the only part of the video worth watching.
Oh my god!
So
So he hasn't even seen the last 30 minutes.
Talking about, he hasn't understood. Oh my god!
Don't understand the shiny button yet.
Yeah, the gold star.
Okay,
Well,
so that's true.
we explained it on the forum.
Yeah, the whole like the like thing with like elementary school where it's like you get a gold star.
No, it goes beyond that.
It goes.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
That's fine with me. I'm used to being wrong. But another reason why I'm kind of just fine with getting some flack is I have accepted that I'm going to do stupid things. And I enjoy doing stupid things. They're great. Like not shooting a Night 3. It was stupid and a horrible idea under any circumstances. But if it worked, it would have gone down in history as the idiotic play that never should have worked but did. And I'm fine with that risk. Like I don't regret it. I should have done it differently, sure, but I don't regret it.
So is your entire Mafia career just trying to replicate something as great as the play you made in your very first game?
Damn it, there's one of my questions, God.
Like word for word.
That wasn't even on my list. I just made that up then.
In more words, yes. I had a lot of fun with Marvel. Just kind of having fun. Because it was super stressful, but it was kind of... It was the stress that is very productive. So,
Like the kind that inspires you to pull off a clutch play at the end.
If I understand what you're saying, yeah.
Basically, just running train by the end of the game to ensure your victory.
Okay, then yeah. That was a lot of fun, and then not that I wasn't having fun, but I hadn't reached that level of fun. I thought it was because I hadn't gotten Mafia. But then in the Musicians game, I finally became aware of what I really enjoy doing, and that is screwing with people.
Sounds familiar.
I'm sure we. Do you guys mind if I tell the sad story?
Go ahead. For it.
Okay, so disclaimer: Sad is my best friend. So he didn't talk to me for like a week after this, which made me really sad. Like he was mad at me, but okay. So
that's a good sign of a best friend.
Yeah. So, Musicians game. Kaz is running it. I'm UC along with Chief. There's a UC lover system. Chief is main UC. And if there's a disagreement, his target's taken, and we have a PM. And if he dies, I become full UC. And naturally, I'm assuming he posts the results, unless he's like combo night or something. So this entire game, basically what's happening is the way Chief operates is he does not lead bandwagons. He does not really, he can push individual people moderately well, but he's not a very he's not
influential.
In a way, he's influential for what he points out, not for what he says, more so, I think. So, this game...
Are those Scooby-Doo pajama pants?
They are.
Oh my god.
So this... I'm going to make endless amounts of horrible Scooby-Doo puns. All that. Like, you lynch Cassie's Mafia. You're gonna do Scooby Snack. It's like horrible jokes. So anyway, throughout this game, it's determined that there's a serial killer. And Chief is mentioned, I think, once or twice by day 3 that is like, Sad seems kind of... I think Sad's a serial killer, if there's a serial killer. And I kind of go, okay, that's a possibility. And at some point but then, I think it was like day 4, I start really thinking it's Bitastic. He starts doing things that seem like independent and not frightened or scared, but just like he hasn't thought them through fully, but not just like bad ideas, like ideas that you wouldn't necessarily think of I can't think of a good example.
What was Pytastic in that game? I can't remember.
He was Rolosiv.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I know what it was. He did the thing that sold me and like closed the end of the tunnel. Was he had claimed there were unique Rolosiv cards, and he claimed he was, I think, Stevie Wonder or some specific musician.
Yep.
Some other guy, like 10 minutes later, I think maybe 90s, someone had said, I'm X. And he's like, oh, no, I was kidding. I'm actually this. And then it was like
Michael Jackson.
Let's say Michael Jackson, yeah. I don't. Yeah. And then I go, I think Pytastic's Mafia, or serial killer. No, I'm Michael Jackson. And Pytastic actually was Michael Jackson. So he gets really mad at me. And he about not rage quits, but he says, okay, you know what? I'm fine. Everyone lynch me today. If I come up Michael Jackson, but with the condition, if I come up Michael Jackson, you will lynch Fuzz tomorrow. No questions, no discussion whatsoever. Just lynch him. And I agree to this. Everyone, and he gets lynched. Comes up Michael Jackson. And then that night, Sad actually kills the last Mafia member. So that either that night or the night before. So it's like 100% focused on SK now, which is convenient. Pimp Willy, I never actually thanked you for doing the write-ups for that game also. So night write-up, SK kills someone, and SK, whether it's Mafia or someone, there's no Mafia left. And Pimp in the write-up, and this is the game where write-ups actually have hints in them.
Yeah, that was something Kaz was really adamant about. He wanted his write-ups to contain clues. He didn't want people to know how many Mafia members there were off the bat, and he didn't want people to know certain key things that you could pick up if you read the story for some reason.
Like the SK used a knife.
Right, the serial killer used a
well.
knife, and the Vigi used a gun, I think it was. The Mafia used a gun, the serial killer used a knife, which is a subtle thing.
So, what the night write-up was, for that night after Pytastic got lynched, SK kills someone. It ends with kind of just general, Pimp knows. It ends with the general scene of like, the SK kind of like sitting back on a chair, eating breakfast, and he throws a knife at a picture of Sonny, the head you see, and I would share the secondary you see in the event that Sonny dies. So what I do is, beginning of the day, I go, wait a minute, okay, hear me out. I know I was wrong on Pytastic, and at this point also, Chief is like, not convince me, but he is. I have come around to the Chief side, and he was right on Sad. So I was like, okay, it's most likely Sad then if it's not Pie. So what I go thread. Okay, I was wrong. I was screwing with them. I had fun. I'm sorry, but write-up says serial killer throws knife at Sonny. This implies the serial killer's win condition is for Sonny to be dead. Now, why does this matter, you ask? Because I am Cher, and I know who Sonny is. Sad is Sonny. We should lynch Sonny so the serial killer can't kill him. His win condition's fulfilled. That doesn't matter. He's third party, and we win. It didn't work whatsoever against like most of the civs. But it worked on Sad. He starts flipping out. At some point, he even and I just keep feeding him bullshit, like to get him to keep talking, get mad. And at some point, he says something. I'm not losing to you like this. Like that was the final nail.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that much, Fuzz. That may be your second Pimpus play behind getting into the
very standard play.
The spreadsheet, and then getting them to use Super Scroll's ability on you.
That was so much fun, like bullshit claiming Vigi. But it's stuff like that I really enjoy in Mafia. Like that's what I'm trying to emulate. Just having fun with stupid, screwy situations.
I think I have the same amount of fun. That's why I don't like to. Like, you don't look clean enough, Pimp. Like, fuck you guys. I'm having fun.
You understand. Like, you're like literally role claiming Mafia on day 4. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second game I've had to like try and cover your ass because people have been calling you Mafia, and I'm just like, no, he's clearly Civ. Because it was that one and Attack on Titan, where you were the wall
protector.
Guy.
The protector.
Okay, this one we were riding the paranoia off the Disney game though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Augustus, for that one.
Especially when like it wasn't coincidence, but it was also something you had found with the URLs. So it was like, not that you guys were doing it, but it's like, it was literally the same thing last time. What if it's not this time? Because Pimp had been cleared in that one too. That was one of your 2 people. So it was
Here we go again.
This giant possible coincidence that, like, 0.1% chance maybe, but it's back there. It's just gnawing away at all.
I'm following Gambler's Fallacy. I don't care. It got me.
Oh, was that about Gambler's Fallacy, MP? What? Speak up.
Hey, I got it. Hey, it worked once.
It worked once, did it?
If it
Yes.
works, then it can't be a fallacy, right?
Ford was the only one you actually went, you're probably not Mafia out of these three, of that. And she was the Mafia. Actually, we were all different. That was musicians. We were all different allegiances.
Yeah, that's right. I was right. One of them was Mafia. It worked.
There was no logical reasoning behind that.
But like,
Oh, there wasn't. I don't care. It worked. I'm taking that W.
how many people do you know? How many people do you know where, that I get saved on the night kill? 99% clear. How many people do you know turn around and try to convince the thread that they're actually the Mafia? Like, oh yeah, this is my grand plan all along. I submitted a kill on myself in the 1% chance that it worked. And they come up with a plausible explanation that if I was Mafia, I would have really done, right? And I still had people trying to lynch me for days after that. And I don't want to be confirmed.
Pimp, you're Pimp. Like, you would actually...
I don't play to win. I play for the moment, the exciting moments, in the same way that Fuzz does.
We are brothers.
And if you ever did that, I would just have to, sue you for taking me and Beta's idea from the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That we never got to enact because neither one of us looked clean enough to.
Imagine the balls it would take to submit a kill on your own Mafia players.
I hated that game so much, that All-Stars game. 90% of the game was like, okay, here was my plan for day 2. I'm going to claim I'm medic, pretend to be an idiot. Someone is going to try to kill me and actually be an idiot. I'm going to protect myself. Simple plan. Between Pimp and Ice Edge, both going, oh, shit, he's medic. I'm medic. I hated that game so much. It was so painful.
That was fun. That was the one. Was that the one where
trolling? But Ice Edge legitimately thought, I gotta be conclusive. He's not medic. He's Mafia.
I think that was one where we had posted a link to a zip file or something. We were still allowing zip files at the time, right?
No, there was no zip file as far as I know in the...
There was some game where something with me and Fuzz, and I had posted a zip for Fuzz, and then after he confirmed that he got it, I changed the contents of the zip file.
I was so mad at that.
Oh, I remember that. That was GMing that game. So was that Death Note?
That would have to be the All-Star game then.
I don't remember.
It was about Vince, I remember.
Because I think I really checked out of that after I got lynched.
It wasn't super huge, like the spreadsheet, but it was half a day, maybe, of discussion.
Yeah, I don't remember what I had done. I had changed something in the spreadsheet that made you look dirty or something, just for fun.
Completely reversed my answers on, you made one of the questions, would you not kill Vince? Yeah.
I still remember the password to that file as well. It was dive
Was
kick.
it standard?
No, dive kick.
It was dive kick.
Dive kick, yeah. That's right. I wanted something that you would know and pick up on, and it worked.
One of my favorite things also was it was that game where everyone got super happy with the encryption, and then we banned it the next game. we're like every other person.
That was the FGC game.
And Godots made some joke about hey Fuzz, do you want to have an encryption so we feel super special? Awesome. Okay. He just made an encryption. I sat there for a few minutes trying to think of what the key could be because I figured he wouldn't just make it random character. He would make it an actual thing. And I put in the most obscure word that we had talked about in a PM. I communicated it back to him. It was the most simplest thing. It was just entertaining. It was like, oh, how'd you guess that? How'd I guess that?
That's pretty cool.
And it was completely useless, but it was entertaining as all hell.
And so I would say I'm in the same archetype of player as you then. I play for that fun moments. I'd rather pull off something big and lose.
It's not fun until I'm the belligerent drunk screaming at the top of my lungs.
I think that's an issue.
I'd rather lose in style than win very clean and
yes. Boring. I'd rather lose killing myself trying for that crazy medic protect than win because civs are going to just shoot themselves in the foot for 3 days. At least if it's up to me. But the thing is, it's a team game, so I do feel regret that I kind of made the Breaking Bad game go downhill at that point for them. I'm fine with that, with what happened, but
I'm sure Alpha was fine with that too.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
And
I
this
mean,
is why you two aren't in the GOC, because you do shit like that.
Didn't you have a horrible time in the GOC?
I
You were
did.
complaining about it.
GOC was a horrible time.
Then why don't you want to
many
send
words.
me? This is backwards
I
logic.
can't let you have the satisfaction of being a GOC participant.
if
Okay.
twos can make it, we can make it. Come on.
Now we can say
Not
two-
from JTM.
Mhm.
You can go join Inside MD Sports and be two top representatives from there, but not from JTM.
Yeah.
So, any more questions?
Yes. MP, you want to go next?
No, Alpha.
Okay.
No, because Alpha stole your question.
Oh wait, yeah, he did. He did have another. He took my question. So
Accidentally.
Alpha. I gotta rack on some more questions.
If you don't have one, I've got a couple prepared.
I'm sure you do.
I know you meant a couple, and you said a couple, but it sounded like a car full. I'm imagining just like
yeah,
Alpha's
that's
car was like filled with like little paper slips, just with an angry red like bold
sticky
letters.
notes all over the place on the windshield.
Shoot.
Yeah, go ahead, Alpha.
All right.
I'm going to conjure up some more.
Okay, if there was a button on JTM dedicated to you, what would it be?
Lynch RadicalFuzz.
Just straight up?
I mean, that would be the most obvious one.
And how many points would it be worth?
Well, no, but
Two-
it's a button.
Are you talking about a react button?
Yeah, like a reaction button.
What would you? I mean, you would just Alpha would use it constantly, so it would have to be worth +5, obviously. Every post of mine, he would just +5, and I'd have the most points in the site. That's
The
what really matters.
gold star is worth -1, which is fun.
Yep.
Well, what would the picture be for a Lynch RadicalFuzz button?
Just a red button that says Lynch Fuzz.
It's hard. It's tiny. It's a tiny button.
No, we'll make it huge.
Yeah.
Like make it as big as
And
the
animated.
And I'll put JavaScript so anytime you click anywhere on the page, it clicks the Lynch Fuzz.
You try to scroll down. Lynch Fuzz. And it has the like LG air horns. Oh my god. But aside from a Lynch Fuzz button, because that'd be that wouldn't be a reaction button. That'd just be like a button for Alpha to ejaculate.
Interesting adjective there.
I think it's appropriate.
It's a verb. Interesting grammar down, Shreya.
Ooh.
It all depends
Oh.
on what context you're using the word in.
Okay, use ejaculate as an adjective. Go.
RadicalFuzz's face is ejaculate.
But that's ejaculate.
Still a noun.
Is that?
Ejaculate. It's my accent, alright? You
No,
got
you're
it.
saying. No, you're saying my face is a noun.
No, I'm not saying it is the thing. It is
The
ejaculate.
word is not.
I think you're thinking of immaculate.
No, you're
It's
thinking
kind of like that. Kind
He's
of.
He's trying to make it the antonym of immaculate.
What's the anthem of synonym?
So
We need a new player anthem that is the opposite of synonym in every way.
dictionary has
Tortuga Grante is antonym.
has a verb and a noun, but not an adjective. I don't see any adjective.
Well, there you
examples.
go. Created on the Salted Butter podcast. Ejaculate.
And what does it mean? Like, what's it a synonym to?
adjective?
Ejaculate is a synonym with what?
Well,
So-
it'd be describing a texture. You know?
Like a lumpy, sticky texture?
Yeah,
Whatever
exactly.
texture my face is, it's mine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Press up over time.
We're evolving the English language here on Jesus Toast Mafia Salted Butter
You're welcome.
Podcast.
Shakespeare.
Now,
insulted butter.
the salted ejaculate podcast. There you go.
The ejaculated butter podcast.
The salted ejaculate.
like, it's like make the little toast black and white, or
Night-
make the portion of the buttered white.
The whole
Cut off
time, it
ejaculate
hasn't been
for you.
butter. It's not been butter. That's why it's the salted butter. It tastes a little salty. The whole time we were the ejaculate podcast. Sorry, guys.
We've lied to you, our noble viewers.
So yeah, you see the salted butter on that logo there? That's not butter.
I can't believe it's not
That-
butter. Oh, I'm so happy I thought of that first.
So,
Oh god.
Fuzz, If you could have one guess as to why Alpha lynches you every day one, what would your guess be?
I've thought about this occasion. I've actually asked him, and he's refused to tell me. But it could have been right, I guess. He was okay. I have two guesses. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. One, he was annoyed at. One, he was legitimately. He was annoyed at how Mafia somehow won the Marvel game. Even it was super close, even though the Civs were playing out of their stupid minds. Everything possible went right. The Great Purge of Day 2 only included the Mafia who, if he lynched, is our lose condition. A Taskmaster wasn't an issue, and we completely ignored him, even though we thought he wouldn't. We didn't know he would be an issue. It's there were so many things that this giant pile of reasons why Mafia should have at least won that game more heartily if we did win, and we still it was
Down to the wire.
The most down to the wire. And then of all things, it was Hishenko at the very end, dying second to last, the day before. God damn it. I still wish I had picked someone beside Lulu for that. But because I had to claim so Lulu wouldn't die. Me dying is a better situation than Lulu dying in that game. It was hilarious. But I'm looking forward to that. So second reason, he wants the date. And he just Sundere. And he goes, if I lynch him, he'll notice me.
Have you noticed him yet?
Notice who?
Oh.
Oh, Lando?
This
Yeah.
fucker thinks he can pull off a senpai. He can never be a senpai to anyone.
You said Baka.
The baka.
This Baka thinks he can pull off a Kohai.
Blush.
Blush with my fingers.
Was that? Oh, we lost MP again. Was that both your answers?
That shot took me out of the shot fired took me out of the stream.
Yeah, there was the legitimate answer and then the stupid answer.
Because I know why Alpha votes Fuzz day one.
Has he told you, or do you think?
No. I had no why. It's my own interpretation of it, and it has nothing to do with Fuzz. Because
Is he just RNG?
Go for it. No. It allows him to not participate every day one and have a valid excuse. Right?
The issue with that is he actually does participate.
But he does participate. That's the thing. He always contributes something.
But he can always fall back on lynching Fuzz for no reason if he doesn't have a read, right?
But I mean, he does that anyway. He lynches me every day, even if he has a read.
But it's a safe opening, regardless of what your allegiance is, right? If you're Mafia,
It is a safe opening, that's for sure.
But what I'm saying is, okay, these past few games, most of the time, at least in roll-heavier games, day one, he has roll things to say, whether it's Disney roll cards, what do you call it, breaking, no, whatever the freaking, my brain isn't working. He has bias, spy things, that's it. The spy thing.
First time I remember him really doing that was Attack on Titan.
Right. So by doing that in Attack on Titan, making it a trend, if he tries to kind of just vote for me and ignore the thread day one, it's not gonna help.
Right.
But didn't I do that in Marvel as well with the whole hunt for Magneto?
Were you the one that started the I am not Magneto?
Yes.
That was smart though. And then Beta's like, damn it guys, you can't do it.
Stop that.
I'm still salty for that one.
I'm salty for you.
That was a good play. We would have won off that easily.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have made for a fun game.
Ben
Perkins. It was. Oh my God, Ben Perkins is my favorite Mafia player of all time. Gets roll where when he gets lynched, reveals Mafia can't be night killed. I'll just DQ myself, guys. See you on the way out.
Oh, he didn't understand
I
it.
don't know
right?
what we were supposed to do in that situation though. Just night kill him night one. I don't remember if we even could. I don't see how you could play much around that though. That's my issue.
I think he got a last gasp as long as he wasn't lynched.
Yeah, it had to be a kill.
It was to make sure the Mafia couldn't just kill him off at night and get rid of him.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, he had to be killed at night somehow.
I think he had to be day lynched.
If he
No,
was,
if it was day lynched,
he had to be killed
Mafia
because
list-
we were trying to come up with like BS ways to get him killed, like She-Hulk's protectability
oh my god,
and
Nisa,
your
I forgot.
sacrificability alpha.
Yep.
How the hell does green and purple make Spider-Man?
I was trying to draw attention away from her, but it didn't work.
No, not even, but just like, I don't remember even who it was, but it was like, she had made
No,
like,
I remember what it was. It was in the very first post, Beta put rollless in green text and rolled characters in purple text. So then when green and purple were in the thing,
no, I
then
don't have a
made
problem
that
with you
connection.
saying like,
Oh yeah.
I have a problem with the person who went, I'm pretty sure it wasn't you, who went like, she made one of the letters green and one of the letters purple. She's Spider-Man! Like, not only are you wrong, why would you draw attention to that?
Yeah.
It was so good. And then I think Hackathon was like the only one who actually said what he was in his last gasp. And when whoever died Vigi, like we had no idea when the Vigi was dead, yes, but we were pretty sure he was dead by night 4.
Yeah.
Nobody died. So then it's just
Pretty
like,
much.
how do I get myself lynched? Claim Vigi that hasn't done anything in a week. It was so beautiful. I'm gonna run another format like that. Because it makes a lot of silly, like freaking Vince getting contacted by Ducky. Ducky in general.
That was a good game. That was honestly a fun game.
Yeah.
I've got a fun game idea that I'm have coming down the pipeline.
Ooh.
It makes everyone put on their creative hat because it's not a serious game, but it's literally a mafia game where everyone that's in it gets to define their own role.
Okay.
You can
I like
ha-
that.
you can
Bizarre.
you can have your
Cancel
role
MP's
be
game.
whatever you want,
Transfer MP's game to Pimp Willy's game right now.
right? You want to be like a Vigi that has the name of every mafia member off the bat? Sure, why not? But maybe the mafia members managed to come up with a better role than that.
Oh my
Oh god, but
This is so
God, is Fuzz gonna ask to be immortal again?
Why wouldn't I?
Mafia, immortal mafia. That would be awesome.
I have a significantly better
Can I have the role Immortal Killer?
You could.
Immortal serial killer.
You could. You know what your role could be? Anyone that casts a vote on you dies.
And you're the
Ooh.
jester.
And you're the what?
They died later, so you do get lynched.
There is so I mean the idea is just to come up with the craziest role that you possibly could. And would anyone
My
even
role
choose
is
to be
I have
mafia?
many roles that are not yet defined.
Your role will be like an essay, like 10 pages, double space.
Like a fucking
10
Dungeons
pages
and
single
Dragons
space. Who are you
page.
kidding?
So I mean I'll probably have to have some sort of GM approval on the abilities,
So it's like
some
make your own
extent.
Marvel 3 character.
basically. And nobody will know what each other's roles are, and the only people that will be mafia choose to be mafia, right? You say I'm
What
this
if-
role as mafia,
What if
Well,
everybody
everybody
wants to be
did
mafia?
mafia then.
Just win.
then I made a mafia role that says if I'm the last mafia member, I win, and I just won.
Oh.
I mean, there's counterplay to everything.
Because there are like no rules. That's great.
That's true.
I love this game.
So
Oh, I'm not ELOing that. That's
no, it's for
gonna
fun.
hurt my brain.
It's for fun.
We should make our own fake yellow. There's like where all the numbers are just made up, and then just like the
What do
parody.
you think I've been doing for a month?
Yeah. So yeah, that's something I've been planning mentally for a while. But as a GM, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to plan anything for the game. So that's awesome. Let's
You
do
don't have to count votes. Just like you just pick someone to die.
Nope, I don't even have to count votes. I got a vote bot.
You literally like hit start and then just watch.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
GM will have to make a lot of like rule calls on that one, right? Because like you can get into like the witch Vigi recursion things.
Oh my! I need to convince everyone to do the witch Vigi thing.
Just you're a witch and you can choose every player's action that night. You
Except for
control
yourselves.
No, you control everyone. So it's like you basically everyone target Fuzz at night.
Don't give out the idea.
I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
Who can come up with the most broken roll ever?
So it's like
Don't worry,
Gladiator-
I think I can do it.
You think so?
It's like arena abilities, but it's everyone makes their own arena abilities. So I can have 2 robots, but someone else can have something equally good, as opposed to have like freaking you get best RNG possible.
Unlimited EMPs.
I
But
really
shut down
enjoy
the
facing
robot.
that game.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun.
Because I feel like arena games, you have options.
You
Yeah.
need to rerun that game.
Without sending them. Because I'm still mad. I've been AFK for like 2 weeks and like, oh, hey, someone hit me. I'm going to buy everything, turn everyone into sheep.
Australian animals.
Australian animals. Okay.
Yep.
None of which were sheep. But I was thinking of the morph array.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So any more questions, Alpha?
Yeah. Was there any more questions?
I'm sure Alpha has a
yes,
plethora of questions.
Yeah, I've got plenty.
Like, go get your bag.
We've been
Like
running
your
our podcast.
astrological
We're currently at
sign.
like an hour and 40 minutes into this thing.
Okay.
Oh, only an hour and 40 minutes?
Yeah,
No, 'cause
cool.
we've been trying to set it up for like 2 hours before that.
I'm like 45 minutes late for work, but hey, who cares?
Short. That's a long commute, dude.
See that right there? That's my work. It's
What's
so
the
far
traffic
away.
like?
A couple of cats and some toys on the ground, but that's it.
A chair. Shoot, Alpha.
Ejaculate.
Ejaculate your questions onto me. They give me strength.
The salt gives them strength.
Alright, so I've got another one. What made you join the Ultimate Marvel game, and why did you stick around afterwards?
Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
If you'll remember, the sign up there was literally, was it Phoenix? Was he mentioned, or was it?
He was not mentioned in the Marvel game, as far as I know.
Was it Ultimate Marvel? Is that the one we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, Ultimate.
But it was the sign up. So I think before he had the roles up, because Beta was updating the thread with roles, it said, "Is Phoenix Wright in this game?" Because I had just gotten into Marvel 3 and Phoenix Wright, and I think Beta responded with like an angry face. I'm like, Jesus, you got like 4 people. Nobody asked this before. Fine. So then I signed up, and then I stuck around because it was. I mean, okay, after my first game, who wouldn't stick around?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fair statement.
Fuzz's first
You're
post.
going down the roller coaster after going all the way up.
2 years ago, he said, "So Phoenix Wright's the attorney for the Mafia? If so, I'm in." And
Oh.
Beta said, "No Phoenix Wright, mad." And Fuzz said, "Okay, no need to get mad." And Beta said, "So are you in or not, fool?"
Didn't that post get like bombed or something?
And then he's like, "Sure, I'm in." And that was that. Yeah,
Wow.
And the rest is history.
You
The
got
oranges of radical fun.
you got 3 likes on your no need to get mad, and it was from Beta himself, Soviet, and someone named I Am that is now banned. So
Oh.
Oh, that was B tier.
Ah.
I never had any experiences with B-tier Bison, except for that one game where he kind of played. I don't remember.
Kind of.
And then got alpha killed, basically.
yeah, so
So you
that
shouldn't
was
be focusing your anger on bias. You should just be focusing your anger on B tier.
I have a lot of anger.
So wait, that didn't really answer the question, right? You joined the game because of Phoenix Wright that didn't exist in the game?
Yeah, then I read it a little bit more, and I had played Mafia, I think, like in person once. It was called. I didn't recognize it, but it was called Werewolves. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay.
That's the
sure, why
tradition.
not? I mean, Scholars was starting. Why not? I need something to distract myself.
Was that when you were a freshman in college?
Yep.
Wow.
I remember sitting in the back of my government class. I did 2 things government class. First off, I sat in the back of the room, but I was either browsing the thread or playing Phoenix Wright, the first game.
You know, you guys convinced me to buy Phoenix Wright because
Yeah.
we were playing the Phoenix Wright game, and I had never played it before, and I had a DS that was like collecting dust, so I bought Phoenix Wright, got through like the first case, and then put it away because it was one of the worst games I've ever played.
Oh,
Not-
Tsuchi's gonna
I
have some work.
should clarify. It just wasn't fun. There was nothing fun about it, and it was so contrived. It wasn't even logic driven. Like some of the objections. No, I think it was the only one I got
The
to
real
was
one or the one after that?
it was the one where like the movie studio and then the
Oh, like
actor.
the actual.
So like, and then the
Oh.
answer to that case was something so contrived that I was just like, no, it doesn't follow my logic. And I understand it's an old game and it's hard to like take care of everything, but it just didn't really tickle my fancy. And
That's fine.
Oh no, I get what you mean, because it's just like, all right, I know why they're guilty. Why are you making me go through all these hoops just to show what I know already.
Yeah, it just.
But I still like it.
And
There's
maybe
some
are the newer games better? Maybe like I don't know.
Okay, so your issue was basically that the case itself was too contrived, or the fact that it's like there are too many logic jumps.
Yeah, it was just it was having a hard time getting the game to follow like the logic of why I knew he was guilty. I had to submit evidence, and like the evidence I had to submit didn't really make sense to me. I don't remember exactly specifics, but
Well,
it made sense to me. It just didn't make sense to the game, basically.
yeah.
Right.
yeah, there are some. Every game has some of those where it's just like present the driver's license. I presented the picture of the driver's license. That's not the driver's license.
Yeah.
And you just get really annoyed. But
So
those and the logic jumps in general get a little bit better. But the cases get so. The thing I love about Feeding Trades, the cases like it's never just Dude A killed Dude B because Dude B was hitting on Dude A's girlfriend. It's just like Dude A killed Dude B. He was then put in a situation where he had to do this crazy thing and like, fly him to Australia in a coffin, and then all these like shenanigans happen. Like freaking, I don't want to say any of them, but Alpha, the finale of Trials and Tribulations, Larry, actually Investigation.
The fucking bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That made me happy. Like that felt fulfilling. I like that because it made legitimate sense, but you wouldn't have thought about it otherwise.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Larry as in, please just give me time to recover, Larry?
Yes. The very same.
I forgot MP with Larry Butts.
I think that's still one of my favorite write-ups.
Definitely. Like, it's up there with everyone that you kicked me in the balls in, right?
Of course. And the Cass and Highlily write-up.
Are we forgetting Lando's debriefing, though?
That's just my masterpiece right there.
Was that the Resident Evil one?
Both of them. We're talking about both of
Welcome
them.
to Ponyville, motherfucker.
I think we legitimately need a clause where if someone gets DQ'd, not like has to bail, but gets disqualified, Alpha does the write-up.
Alpha, you capable of handling this for my game?
And with 40 people, there's going to be about 25 disqualifications.
I'm looking forward to the second great purge of day 2, honestly. Another stupid thing about that game. 7 DQs. 6 for Civ, 1 was Magneto. It's like, okay. I'll take it. And you didn't know what the roles were. Medic could have done absolutely nothing, and nobody knows.
Oh, God.
And then China DQ'd me.
That's right, your edit. That made me so happy from a Mafia standpoint.
I'm so pissed. I was sitting in a cafe and I was screaming obscenities at my laptop as this happened in a cafe.
In English or in Chinese?
No, in English.
Okay. So then you can't get thrown out for vulgar.
Weirder for everybody around.
See, if they don't speak English, they only assume you're cursing. They can't actually throw you out for cursing. If that was, I don't know. I don't know how Chinese cafes work.
I don't know either.
I thought you'd just stay until you die of like dehydration from playing World of Warcraft or something. Like Diablo 3.
Not an internet cafe, like you drink coffee cafe.
It's not even like a gaming cafe.
No, not a gaming cafe.
But it's Asia. Everything needs to be a gaming cafe.
Of course.
So you were taking your personal laptop to just a Starbucks equivalent.
Yeah, basically.
Did they get your name wrong?
I could not miss any action in the thread.
Did they get your name wrong on a little like coffee cup?
No.
Damn it. That's my favorite thing about coffee places, when the employees get bored and start writing names wrong on purpose.
They probably just write Wigger on mine. And I wouldn't know enough to sue them.
So do we want to do more questions from Alpha's bag of hatred?
Yeah, I've still got 3, so MP.
Wow, let's get to them.
All right. We already covered this a little bit, but what the fuck were you thinking by getting yourself lynched in Breaking Bad?
Okay, so my thought process for this was, I I might have. I was probably wrong, but I thought I had a lot of heat on me. It was only going to get more.
Okay.
B, I wanted to make sure the other mafia had a reason to vote for me, because if they didn't vote for me, that looks bad for them. And C, I felt ashamed after not having killed Night 3, and I wanted to go out with a bang because I didn't shoot my gun. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do that also. Just kind of be like, make a la 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 post in air quotes, and just misdirect the thread.
So basically, your whole goal has been to emulate me.
No, that is never. My whole goal. This actually started before you did that stupid thing. This has been like a year-long dream. Like, that's why I made the post about like someone quiet, because logically, if that was a mistake, Mafia, I wouldn't say that's Mafia because they were all quiet and wallflowering, and I hate that Mafia chat sometimes for multiple reasons. Does that answer it, or do you want a little more?
Alpha died again.
Oh, okay.
He's got that ejaculate face. Oh,
There
there
we
he
go.
is.
Was that the noun or the adjective? Ben?
That was the adjective.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Next question. All right. Question number 4. Are you intentionally a disappointment to everyone, or is it accidental?
Sometimes. It varies.
Okay.
All right. I do have a question.
Okay, what's your question, MP?
All right. So when you are playing Whispers, is it paint thinner or compressed air for cleaning keyboards that you're huffing when you do your drawings?
I think you overestimate my drawing ability, much like TGG. You don't understand.
Overestimation there.
Okay, a story from high school, like really short. I was in band, and they wanted volunteers to kind of like make posters for something. Like literally just like with a marker, just like letters, not even pictures. And it was going to be like fundraiser. I get like to the N, like halfway through the N. She comes, like turns around, like, oh my God, no, stop. 2.5 letters was enough to let her know I should not be doing this. That about sums up my artistic talent.
Wow.
I'm pretty much the
I'm rather
same.
proud of that, actually.
You know, the thing is, I have like the worst artistic talent of almost anyone I know, but even I was able to cobble together a fairly decent MS Paint picture.
Yeah.
That is true.
You guys have no idea what you're in for. I want to take this opportunity to thank either Synonym or Torettis for granting us such great fortune.
Well, since it was the bad one, it's probably my deity. So.
That one.
It was very bad.
Like, I have to honestly wonder if Synonym rigged it just when he saw, like, it's like, we need a first drawer. First signed up as a wild card.
I'll say this: it was not as bad as the last two.
You haven't seen my picture yet.
I have.
Were you the
I
describer?
described for it, I'm pretty sure.
This gets so much better and better every time we talk. Okay.
That's why I posted what I did in the thread.
Oh, I thought you were just saying, like, God damn it, Fuzz, you were the first drawer. I didn't know you were the first describer. I had to deal with my crap. Okay.
You know what would be the
Okay.
most awesome is if Fuzz hasn't even drawn yet, and somebody else just is the terrible drawer too.
No, this is like prime Fuzz brand horribleness.
I'm pretty sure Fuzz went to rehab just for this game.
But no, okay. In my defense, MP, that was almost word. That was actually, yeah, word for word what I got. I added in everything, which is more than most people.
Well, you should see the words I used to describe yours. I want to see if I'm actually morbidly curious if it matches up to yours. I'm going to send you a PM right now, and I'm just going to see.
Well,
Okay.
if I end up getting the ability to describe, I will work in the word ejaculate
As an adjective.
as
As
an
an
adjective.
adjective.
Somebody will assume it's a noun if they haven't seen this.
I might use it as both. I might say the ejaculate was ejaculate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's how you'll know it's me.
So yeah, I'm like 90% sure 2 of the words that I specifically given won't be passed on because I did a poor job of
Here you
those
go,
words.
Buzz. I'm sending you my description.
Okay.
Tell me if I'm any part accurate.
I think one of those words is accurate.
Oh, fucking hell.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even kidding you. I think. Wait. How do I get back to that? Where are items in this? Is it that? There we
Go
go.
to your main Zoom panel.
There we go. Actually, no. 2 of those words are accurate.
Not bad.
Maybe
I'd
one
say
of the
that's
conjunctions
bad.
is accurate.
There's only one conjunction in there
Might be. I'm bad at English
in math.
and math. I didn't find government though.
Is there anything you're good at?
And geography. You still think Blind Mag is from Switzerland?
Switzerland.
It's there. It's
Whatever.
okay, that's
You know what?
me
We're
getting the
Americans.
words
It's like
confused.
somewhere that's not America. Who cares?
They're in the middle of that Europa.
It's overseas. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Why don't it matter? Really?
It's true. Well, I can barely keep.
Alpha's not taking any offense to this. He thinks he's an American now. We've indoctrinated him.
Well, like in America, like we can barely even like care beyond our state borders, and you expect us to care about somebody in Europe? Come on.
That's legitimate. So yeah, MP, that's like 2-3 words at the most. You have. I still think what I drew was accurate, but it was just so off the wall that nobody would expect those words to be used. Anyway, so what were your? I believe your last question, Alpha.
Yes, the last question. Question number 6. Why is there an account named RadicalFuzz on Gay Team forums?
You're very good at keeping a straight face, Alpha.
You know, that's how I get to GOC.
Clearly, that's definitely how you avoided the lynch in GOC.
Yep.
As for the account, I mean, I have no idea where that came from.
Okay.
I didn't make the account.
Sure.
Just like I have no idea how Radical Edward got onto the forum.
You did
Still one
double
of the
check those
greatest
IPs.
things ever.
MP.
What?
You did double check those IPs, didn't you?
I did double check them. They do not belong to anybody else.
The IP check thing is not the best like on our
It's
thing
not.
for sure.
It's not a be all end all.
But
But
for the
there's-
purposes of making a fake account, just to
There's
troll.
no
Alpha.
host name, and there's nothing that would mark it as somebody else. I've also checked Pytastic's email, which I still have from the End of the World game.
You're checking emails?
Someone's got to do it.
Can you IP track it to a general location that it's located
No, No,
It's
there's no
somewhere in
back
Madagascar.
on the internet.
in? Because
there
if it's
no-
in Australia, we've got a problem here.
It's actually just synonym. That would be great.
No, it's
Which
antonym.
Antonym.
Yeah.
There's no way to look at like a member list on Gay Team forum, so I call shenanigans.
Just search Gay Team Forums Radical Fuzz.
I've heard it. I've heard it's real.
Yep. I mean, we could get Augustus to confirm that.
That's funny. Okay. So, any other? You said that was the last question, right?
Yeah, that's all I've got written down.
Okay. Are there any topics of discussion you want to talk about? Oh wait, yeah, you wanted the MP wanted to do the werewolf.
Yeah, one-eyed werewolf.
Can I petition that we use Pimp in this? Because I mean, the answer. If Alpha votes for me day one, the answer is obvious here.
Yeah, if I vote for you day one, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose.
Okay, if MP's Mafia, then he wins automatically.
Yep.
And if the other one of us is
Alpha's
Mafia,
Mafia.
because
Yeah,
he
we
can vote
just
for me
lose
day
votes
one.
anyway.
Well, no.
So, just to go back to this RadicalFuzz thing for a minute.
Oh, of course, yeah.
No, maybe not. No. Yeah, okay. Because I was confused because like the page, I found the page, and like it only shows up in a cache version, and I'm putting it up on the screen now. But like basically, it says who is online, and there is a RadicalFuzz cached as being online on that forum. However, the post is from 2012.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? There's another. I thought this name was
Wow.
unique. Just like Google time.
So that would have been,
That was before the Marvel game.
yes, it was.
Wow.
However, the thing that finally is like the thing is though the snapshot at the top, it's the cache as it appeared on April 19th, 2015. So somebody the RadicalFuzz account was from April 19th, 2015, viewing a post from 2012. So too bad.
Oh.
So the account doesn't exist that long.
Was it? So what post was it?
It says, please read. The black tea guy. I'm new here and looking for friends and support. I also wanted to ask, how do I attract guys? I am a chubby person. So I was wondering, would it be hard for me to attract by? P.S. Sorry for my spelling.
Oh my god.
Hey guys,
This is pre-Tinder, I think.
So you're into chubby black guys, Fuzz?
I'm getting the biggest deja vu right now. I found the Urban Dictionary definition for gay teen forum. You guys want to hear it?
Yes.
It's super long. A gay teen forum. A gay virtual hangout comprised mainly of inane and recklessly discriminating 13 to 25-year-olds who proudly strut their antagonism as if they were nothing more than innocently playful, but then go to vilify those who object to their irritating behavior. They tend to decide respectability based primarily on popularity, typically judged superficially, all the while dismissing well thought out, potentially valid points of members who, quote, everyone hates. Unpopular, older, wiser members are often quickly regarded as a creeper pedo for little to nothing other than their unpleasant presence, even when their behavior is appropriate as they normally are. The petty accuser would attempt to disguise their rationale by pointing to any mere instance where the elders either give compliments to younger members, tip them congrats, or give them emotional assurance in sticky situations. As if these older veterans' presence alone is somehow inherently a threat for simply speaking to a younger member, but it rarely stops there. Quote, creepers apparently include those new members who, indecorously, start their first posts in the forum on the topic of dating/sex, never minding the possibility that these may actually be real-life insecure or threatened teens who never had the chance to even talk about their homosexuality, let alone gay dating. It's not hard to realize that GTF is less about the core values it proudly reputes itself to have, and more about the leisure gain from the trouble its loudmouth members cause. That's funny.
That sounds like the place where
I was going to write a note to Tug saying I'm sorry. Your head exploded listening to this.
And okay, so you read that for like 20 minutes, and what was the point? What was your deja vu?
I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay.
That's why I do everything.
Well, I thought you were saying it reminds you of a specific person or something.
No.
Like,
Okay.
I just found it. It was amusing.
Okay, so Alpha, you're going to run One Night of Werewolf to keep this unbiased.
Okay. I'm down for that. I will.
If you want me to die, give me Mafia, Alpha.
I am not.
Okay.
Wait, I might be on.
We have a night 0 in a 3-man werewolf game, right, guys?
Yeah, of course.
so what are the rules on this?
Basically,
Mafia.
3 players in, 1 Mafia, 1 day phase. You have to try and figure out who's Mafia.
But like, we're putting Fuzz on the spot since he's the guest, right? So does that mean
Yes.
the Mafia
Fuzz is in
can't be
it.
Fuzz? Fuzz can't be the Mafia. It can be me or you only.
Well, no, it could be
Not
anybody.
necessarily.
Right.
It could be anybody.
That
If
just
it's
seems
just-
weird because then it's like we're not really testing him, right?
You're testing how well I can avoid Alpha lynching me, and that answer is make him the GM.
It would make more sense if I was Mafia or MP was Mafia, and you had to decide who was the correct one.
Well, if I'm not Mafia,
then there's a 50-50 and someone's cleared, so
Okay.
you gotta keep
And
it.
plus, we're testing Fuzz on his Mafia ability if he gets Mafia.
I gotcha. Okay.
But okay, personally, it's a 50-50 if I'm Mafia or if I'm civilian. But okay, let's say you two know it's not. It's either Pimp Willy or missing person. Pimp Willy knows he's civilian. He knows MP is Mafia.
Yeah, it's automatically a 50-50.
Right. But the other two would know, and it would eliminate any kind of discussion aside from, he's Mafia, because I'm civilian. No, I'm civilian. You're Mafia. With a small, it wouldn't work.
Really needs to be dialogue, or else this is all just ejaculate.
I still want to... Was ejaculate what? I don't understand. I still want to run a game where I just, like, put in this as like a disclaimer, but all the players who signed up, I handpick who was what role in Allegiance. Not ranked, but just to be maximum fun. Just like, oh, hey, look.
Go for that.
Well, and now you have a vote counter, so there's half your trouble.
Yeah. All right, so I'll send the Mafia the message that he is the Mafia. So let me know when you've got that,
Zoom or
Fuzz.
Skype?
I'll send it through.
Oh, yeah, I got it on Steam just now. Thanks.
Yep. Okay, so you got that.
Yep.
So I'll let you start to defend yourself and go.
So was this even randomly generated?
Yes.
Wait, you say you sent out rolls on Steam?
No, I was kidding.
On Zoom.
Oh. Okay, wait, let me see.
I was
On
like,
Zoom.
yeah, I got my Mafia message on Steam. Thanks, Alpha.
Okay, I see. Gotcha.
How's that forehead doing, MP?
Just doing great. You actually have probably never seen anything but my hat, so...
No, you finally took it off.
Alright. Fuzz, convince me you're not Mafia.
Alpha wants you to mislunch me.
That's why he'd make you Mafia, wouldn't he?
No, he wants you to... Wait, that means you're Mafia.
I'm
Okay.
confused.
If you're civilian and you're going, Fuzz, why aren't you Mafia? He wants you to mislynch me. That's the entire reason he votes for me day one.
But he knows that I would want to lynch you, so he wouldn't make me Mafia so that I could just lynch you. Right? I'm Civ. MP Civ,
No.
you're Mafia.
No,
Yeah.
what you said was, give me a reason not to lynch you.
No,
Or
I said
mislynch.
give me a reason you're not Mafia.
Okay, give me a reason not Mafia. I said because Alpha wants me to be mislynched specifically.
He just... That kind of makes sense, because, you know, Alpha would just want to see Fuzz's absolute pain and suffering go through the roof in this game. So it's possible that Pimp Willy is just grabbing at low-hanging fruit on this just because, hey, it's Fuzz.
I'm just trying to spark conversation, really.
But what he said after I said that is that Alpha wants me to be mislynched. He said, yes, that's why I'm voting for you. That's why that's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying, because you use the word mislynched instead of just lynched.
Right.
I just assume you were talking about why would you be lynched day one, because he wants you to be lynched day one, you know.
But he said that 5 times. You missed the word mislynched 5 times?
I guess I just didn't understand, like, from his perspective, why he thought that was a bigger deal. Like, you're saying mislynch, and I was just taking it as, like, lynch.
No, because I said...
Of course he wants you
me.
to lynch day one.
But then you said, yeah, that's what we're doing. Or something along yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's why I'm yeah.
Right. Because it's a mislynch in a world where you are Mafia. And that doesn't make that connection quick enough and you say it out loud.
Okay, I can understand where you come from on that. But it seems like a bit of a stretch to me. To me, it feels like, hey, you're seeing more into it, and then MP is just kind of kindling that fire along. Like, oh yeah.
MP is definitely... Well, okay. Mafia in this situation are going to basically just vote for whichever of the other two are easiest.
Okay.
Because they don't care. There's no roles to read. There's no end game.
To me, I
who would
think
be the easiest in a game with Fuzz in it that Alpha is running.
Well, yeah.
That's the Yomi right there. The easiest automatically is Fuzz.
Right.
If
However-
Alpha was playing, but neither one of us lynched Fuzz day one, necessarily.
Right. It's not a pattern. However, what the Mafia would also want to do is they need to convince one person. The person that's getting lynched can cry all they want, as long as the other civilian, from the Mafia's point of view, the second civilian votes with them.
Do we have a
Right,
time
that's
limit
why you
on this?
don't
Alpha?
lock in so quickly, so that as the civilian, so that you can hammer. Because if you drop the first lynch vote in, then the mafia essentially has the hammer. If it's a miss lynch, they
Are we doing just the first person to
jump
vote?
on. Yeah, they can just automatically just jump onto your wagon.
Do we have to do the whole
Okay.
hand over your camera thing to lock in? Is that how it works?
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you say
Okay,
someone's name
alright.
and lock in?
So that
We can
argument,
fire drill all we want.
Right. Is there a time limit on this phase?
No.
Oh, so we can go for 30 days?
yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
back
go
later,
for it.
guys. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, MP. But this game format, you have to, since you have to lock in like this, and have to consciously say, I am voting for this person. It's not just the first person 2 votes.
Yeah.
So if I were to say, for example, Lynch MP, then if Pimp immediately said, yeah, Lynch MP, let's go, then it's very obvious.
Then that puts a red flag up.
Right. But in this case, we can change. What you're saying is it's dangerous because that gives the mafia the ability to bandwagon with a civilian onto the other civilian. However, in this case, there are 3 of us. Bandwagoning is extremely obvious. And
Well, I was not under the impression that we were going to hold our hands up to the camera to lock. I was not sure.
okay.
So like this is what I'm talking about. Like if it was guaranteed to be either me or MP as Mafia, then Fuzz would be the driver in this situation, right? We listen to him, he makes the choice, right? But since he could be the Mafia, I don't want to just say, okay, Fuzz, you're the leader. What should we do, right? Like,
Right.
who takes charge here? Like,
It's
I don't even know
always
where
you
you go. Like, how you can make an educated guess on this? I don't know.
It's day 1 with 3 people. You really kind of can't.
Can we no lynch? Is there a medic? Is there a medic?
Is there a medic?
Because then we
Why
can
would
do a night kill.
The game is designed to be 1 phase. Why would there be a medic?
Mafia
For
can
fun.
no kill.
Just
Shut
to
up,
drag
dude.
it out.
It's like they have the vote tied 1-1. Just no kill. There's no time limit on these phases.
All right, I tell you how we find out whether Fuzz is Mafia or not. We know Lynch. Then if he tries to kill himself on night 1, we know he's Mafia.
That's true.
If there is a no kill, we'll know it's Fuzz holding his bullet, right?
So then if anyone dies night 1, we'll know I'm clean.
That's true.
And
Except for me.
then
If I die night 1 by Mafia, then it could be me killing myself.
So I can lock in on a no lynch then. Let's put that theory to the test.
what?
You're lucky you have a reputation for being a troll.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? It's like me and Fuzz both are in it for the fun, and MP's in it to be the best player he could possibly be.
Well, I
so.
think with this specific situation, MP's just having fun too.
I'm the dead serious Ryu of this group.
Ryu chuckles.
Are you
Not
sure
on
about that?
camera.
Yeah, when does Ryu ever chuckle?
I hide, except for when I'm
Wait,
choking
no,
on water.
I was remembering an animation where Ryu can fist bump, and I thought I remembered his shoulders kind of rising. I assumed it was a chuckle. Never mind. I really should know that better.
So, what do we do?
So we're still at a stalemate here.
From my position, I'm a civilian, so I could flip my coin if we can't come to an agreement. And I know everybody wants to see that.
Well, there's no. Oh God, just put the coin away.
No. You getting nervous about the 50-50 chance?
You two-facing
No,
it?
I don't want to be mislynched, of course. But just the coin.
It's led to the best decisions.
Did it lead to you not using that bullet?
No. I don't use it actually to decide things. I haven't used that since freaking Danganronpa. Where I picked DG out of like a list of 4 Mafia and DG, I picked DG.
Hey, Fuzz, look at me for 1 second, okay?
You're gonna make me laugh.
No, I don't want you to laugh. You looking at me?
No, but I'm laughing already.
Look at MP. I don't know.
You stopped that smirk pretty fast, MP.
It's more like the body language. He's got the finger over his mouth. He's look how he
I
puts
always
it
do
up.
that. I've been doing that through the whole podcast. What am I trying to conceal through the podcast?
I don't know. I haven't been watching you as close. I mean, I wasn't. All I know is that the body language
You
you're
can
putting
go
off
to
right now
the highlight
is
reel on
fairly.
that one.
Pimp,
We
I have
can-
a question for you.
We can do the instant replay. Yeah.
Why did you were paying attention to MP's body language,
Uh huh.
and then you asked me if I thought it was suspicious as well.
Okay.
You haven't noticed that I've been laying back like this for a decent chunk of this when I haven't done this for the rest of the podcast. You were only looking at MP in a 3-person game where you have 2 variables. So you don't have the excuse of there were 40 people, I only saw 2 of them.
It's true.
So you either your options were
You did sit back just before. I feel like you did that right before I asked you, whereas MP has been doing the finger over his mouth thing for like the whole like mafia section of the game.
More like the whole.
You were more
2 hours
sitting
of
up like
time.
that right before I asked you, and then you kind of leaned back.
I'd been sitting back for a minute because I had to lean forward, and because I was doing this, he talked about the coin. I remember that.
Yeah.
I've been
I didn't
fidgeting
really-
the whole podcast. It's my MO.
We can be chapstick brothers. Look.
Do we have the
Um,
exact same chapstick?
Mine is
This
strawberry.
is chapstick, right?
What?
Mine
Leave it to a
is
Texan to have a toothpick.
cherry.
There are toothpicks everywhere in this house.
I prefer strawberry to cherry, but cherry is acceptable.
That still work.
No chapstick, Hafez. Just a toothpick. Don't ever use it because it's kind of ruins you.
Chapstick toothpick.
I don't know. I was just making an observation on MP's body language.
But I'm saying you were only looking at MP because especially
Sure.
if you were already thinking about body language. You see me lean back during the Mafia game when I hadn't done that for 2 hours beforehand, or let's say an hour and a half because I joined in midway. Then you should have noticed, why am I going to ask this guy whose body language has changed about that guy whose body language has been changing since this game started?
It's true. You got me.
MP, and what do you think of me leaning back? Does that make me dirty? Does that make me clean? Does that not matter whatsoever? Was that an intentional thing? Was it unintentional?
I don't even think it was. I don't think it was intentional, but I really did not. It did not raise any flags. It was just a break in the conversation at that point when you did lean back.
Okay. Alpha Who's Mafia? No.
Sorry to interrupt. It's just that we've got a follower now. Emma is always Bay. Thank you for following us.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for following this. Emma. Emma is always Bay.
Continue.
Okay.
So, what Pimp has done is basically said, in this game, it's been said,
So I got distracted
Okay.
by the chat because we actually do have people chatting on our channel for once. So,
Awesome.
Awesome.
Amazing.
so what Pimp is, try not to read the chat though. Remember, during Mafia games, we don't read
Oh.
chat.
Good point. I forgot we're in a Mafia game. I only looked because we had a follower, so okay. Closed.
But what Pimp has done is basically said, so Fuzz, and talk to me. And then said, so what about MP? And talk to me.
Well, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Thank you. This person has been reactive. He has not started any conversation that has led, even if it hasn't led to anything. And even if I think Pimp is either focusing too much on MP or Dirty, he has started conversation. MP has just kind of talk, and this is MP.
I'm just trying to absorb. You have to realize that I do play Video Mafia a lot differently than I do Forum Mafia. I'm more proactive in the forums versus I'm just absorbing what's being said and just trying to read off of that on video. It takes me a lot longer to formulate my thoughts on video than it is to just put fingers to the keys.
Okay.
I mean, to defend myself, when the game started and I started saying like, you know, Fuzz convincing you're not Mafia, and you jumped on me for the whole missing the Miss Lynch thing, I felt like MP was really glad to kind of latch onto that. Not like put himself
yeah.
out there, but he was like, oh yeah, you're right. You misunderstood the word miss 5 times. And then the way and then he kind of sat back again. So I already have a preconceived notion that MP is the Mafia, right? So maybe you're right. I did focus on him more than you because I was trying to kind of maybe convince you that, hey, MP is the one we need to get. Okay. Cards on the
I don't
table.
really like that because, simply put, you.
Of course you wouldn't like it. Why would you?
Of course not. But let me get my words in here.
Go ahead.
Let me use my words. Okay. So you went in straight for Fuzz, and
I disagree.
after what was compelling, you just backed off him, and it's suddenly like, oh hey, well what? Wait, what about MP? Let's talk about his fidgeting, but like Fuzz said, yeah, he did lean back right at that breaking conversation, but now you're talking to him about a change. What you perceived was a change in my body language versus someone that already also had a change in body language, except that I hadn't. I've been doing this the entire night.
But I wasn't. I mean, okay. First of all, I didn't go on Fuzz really off the bat. I mean, I wouldn't say I went in on him. I just asked him, convince me you're not Mafia. 2, I didn't have. You said that I had something compelling, and there was nothing compelling there. Like, it was literally just kind of like, here, let me like throw out a fishing line for some bait and see if we can get some conversation. Like, there's no like anything definitive, and it's not like I was pushing Fuzz. And thirdly, is like I wasn't watching your body language the whole game. Like, I had no reason to care about your body language until the Mafia game started, and until you blipped on my radar after that first interaction. So.
Well, the thing is, as you said, of course, one thing you did say was, of course, Alpha wants me to lynch you, so why shouldn't I?
Right.
Right at the beginning.
It would make it easier if Alpha made Fuzz Mafia. It'd be easy for me and you to just go ahead and lynch him. Like, I feel like that just made sense. Like, if Alpha was trolling us, he would make Fuzz Mafia, definitely.
Alpha, did you use a random number generator to define who the Mafia is?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure? Because I don't trust that.
No, he just asked Lando.
Lando is my witness.
In a world where Alpha gets to choose, I feel like he would pick Fuzz just because I feel like it'd be funny because we're all lynched for RadicalFuzz day 1. But it's random, so it doesn't really matter. That's why that's why it didn't matter when I said that whole thing. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
In a world where Alpha chooses, I actually think he'd make me Civ, because then it would be more despair that I'm losing the game off of this when there's someone else out there who's on my team but doesn't know. It's a greater.
That's kind of how I feel. Like it would almost like if it would just he would want to see the Miss Lynch just to watch Fuzz burn at the stake.
But if he's
would be so much ejaculate.
I mean, if he's Mafia and we're both Civ, then I feel like we'd be more likely to pick up on it and lynch him easier. I don't know.
Yeah, but
thank you for that compliment.
That shortens the suffering of Fuzz in Alpha's eyes.
Okay. Regardless, do we think Alpha picked the role, or do you think you really randomed him?
I think he ran.
I think he randed.
Okay, so then the entire conversation is nothing more than
I know, but
a red herring.
It's just funny. It's just funny to see us try and go in on the psychology of one Alpha.
So, like, talking about psychology, or like, since there's 3 people, right? If one person locks in, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Because then the other 2 people either have to counter lynch or go on the same person, right?
They would have to counter lynch the person that locked in specifically.
Right. So if I lynch on MP, MP's going to lynch on me right away, and then it's going to be up to Fuzz.
Right. And again,
why would anyone ever make the first vote? Like, I don't understand why anyone would be willing to put themselves out as the first vote in that kind of game scenario.
You know what?
I'll troll. I'll lynch Pimp Willy.
Well, okay, lynch missing person. Then I guess it's all on you, Fuzz.
Let's see.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. So now it's either he's already won because he's Mafia, or he has to make a choice.
The fact that Fuzz is deliberating right now just tells me that he's Civ. So he is.
What it tells me, then you weren't listening to the same conversation where he enjoys big moments and not winning, right? If he was Mafia, he would relish this moment.
There's no big moment to be had here. You two have locked in. There's nothing that can be changed. If I am Mafia, I have won.
Right, but you could have your fun.
And I think that's what you could automatically just hammer and it be done.
I don't think he's Mafia.
Fun, that's true.
I already said I thought you were Mafia, and you obviously countered back because that's your only choice. So I don't know.
Okay. So, let's play a game.
Okay.
Pimp
I
Willy!
thought we already were.
We're
What's
playing a
up?
game within a game. This coin has a building side and a cross side.
Is it a
Cross side is commemorative, and a building side.
is that a Nazi
Can't
symbol?
really see it. No, it's a cross.
Oh, okay.
Call it in the air. If you're right, I will vote for MP.
Cross.
It's a cross.
Is that really what this game's coming down to? A coin flip? The only way it could be a
Just
coin
wait,
flip.
sound went
The
out.
only way it could be a
Just
coin flip if he's already Mafia MP. It's literally the only way he'd be
The
trolling.
sound
us
went
like that.
out for me.
No, Pimp Willy's sound just completely did it.
Oh yeah, I think it was
Okay,
my sound.
yes.
Okay.
What were
Is
you
that better?
saying?
Can you hear me? No, I'm saying
Mafia
the-
Willy just literally lost his sound at the joy of winning.
No. I was saying the only way he would take this down to a coin flip is if he was already Mafia and trolling us. I don't think any of this matters. I think he's Mafia, and he's just doing the whole coin flip thing, right? Okay.
Yeah,
anyways.
I still feel like you're floundering right now, Pimp Willy, just trying to keep Fuzz.
Okay.
I thought he already locked in.
I didn't lock in.
Oh, you didn't lock in?
lock in.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I lied.
Okay.
Screw
then
you.
So okay, the game is still going. Okay.
MP, your turn. In the air.
Building.
Building. It's the cross.
Gamber's fallacy. You thought it was gonna be the opposite just because it was.
No, I just
Well, it's a
wanted to be
50-50
different.
chance either way.
No, he
So-
thought it was more likely because he's
No,
a
trying to
fan
get-
of the
no,
gambler's
I'm
fallacy.
not doing gambler's fallacy. I'm just taking the 50-50 at that point.
I think that was literally the definition of gambler's fallacy. You picked the
I'm
opposite
just
of the
taking
coin flip. last time.
50-50. What?
Vote Pimp.
You can't redefine. Who did you block for?
Pimp.
Okay, so everybody's locked in their votes.
Yes.
Turn your cameras off.
It was you,
mute
right, Fuzz?
yourself.
It was Fuzz. I know it was.
Fucking
No.
hate you so much, Fuzz. God damn it, he's right. Pimp is
Yeah.
Mafia.
See, the trick is this coin is always wrong. So when he wanted me to vote for MP and was right, it was wrong. When MP wanted me to vote for him and it was wrong, it was right.
So it was the coin of Tourette's then.
It's the coin of Tourette's. Even there's like a church on it. You can't really see it, but it's the Notre Dame. And then the cross. Okay, this coin now has an application.
Fucking
Good job holding a straight face, though, Alpha.
stupid fucking coin. Yeah, I was talking to the chat, and they're actually interested in being like a part of the interaction-y part of our podcast. So
All right,
that might
let's
be a
go.
good thing to do. First things first, though. Jason C had a couple of questions.
Okay.
First one for Fuzz. What deck are you playing in the Hearthstone tournament?
I'm playing the deck without epics or legendaries.
Fascinating.
I'm not going to reveal that. I will reveal that I have been getting a lot of packs. I haven't played a lot, but I've been getting a lot more packs now instead of going through the wings. So here, I'll leave you. I don't have either of the wings or the adventure things. So if you want to do some kind of, if there's some way that you want to kind of build a deck specifically to beat me around that, I'll let it. You can win, but it'll fuel my ego.
Oops.
It's fine.
All right. And second question from Jason C. Pimp Willy, can you show us a sneak peek of the vote counter?
I can't because it's on that computer over there
Okay.
and not this computer right here. So unfortunately, I can't do a show. I can show. I can show something real quick. Let me log in. I posted up some screenshots. We have a secret forum, which I like kind of
The
post.
Illuminati forum.
It is. It's literally called the Illuminati forum. No, so like it lets me. I was posting some screenshots of there. So
Oh, what the hell? We have a chat. You're right. Damn.
Let me pull
So
it
it's
up on my
kinda-
phone.
So like just as a quick screenshot of going through the evolution of what we have so far, this is the first thing I did, which is I literally pulled back all the game threads for the current games and showed them. No big deal. Secondly, I pulled back the game threads, and under each game, I pulled back each post in the thread.
Wiggle cat.
And then secondly, I upgraded. So instead of just pulling back every post, I made a post counter. So I have a functional post counter right now. I can point it at any forum or thread and get back a post count for that thread, including the game. So here is an example of in the Mafia All Stars. I pointed it at the game over section, all our old games. So for like the Mafia All Stars game, Missing Person had the most posts with 286, and Vince had second with
How do
117.
I make this stop playing?
And then from there, this is the same thing except for instead of posting it at an entire forum with all the posts, this is just pointing it at one thread. And this is where I added in the permissions, and it hits in the logging information. So if I try to access a thread I don't have, I made a Mafia thread and tried to read the post count for it without permissions, and it prevented me from doing it. So today I'm actually planning on doing the vote parsing section. Right now all it does is post counts, and today I'm gonna make it do vote parsing. That's my goal for today. As soon as this podcast is over. So that's the screenshots I can show. I can't show a functioning prototype because the server is on that computer.
Okay, any other questions from Jason?
Nope.
No, that's it.
All right, what else?
Emma has a question. We have played Cards Against Humanity, but would we play with viewers?
Why not? We'll put it on stream. If there's like a demand for it, we could put it on stream.
Yeah.
One night with Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity, the JTM in the world.
I do have another question for Fuzz. How did it feel to have a Hail Satan play pulled on you in Resistance?
I imagine it felt the opposite of what you felt. It was like, damn it, I fell for it, but it's fine. But like, again, it's this kind of, it's those moments that I like, because if you were actually Merlin, like, okay, logically, Merlin would never say that. Therefore, Merlin could say that. And with the awareness of the Hail Satan play, it was possible. I figured the amount of joy it would bring me to catch you, like actually being Merlin, would surpass the amount of minor sadness I would get if you weren't Merlin.
It was fun. That was just... Now I know why Alpha does it all the time.
Right. This is why Pimp and I do all our things too. We just try to do stuff like that. You know what's up.
All right. So what else? Any other questions? Alpha, that I missed from the stream chat.
Emma, as always, Bae just kind of wants to know the basics of what Mafia is.
Yeah.
Could we just, run through that quickly?
Pimp Willy probably is the best to describe Mafia.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. What were you guys talking about? I wasn't listening to you guys.
So Mafia is basically just a game where...
We're trying to describe the game? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. You have a group of civilians and a group of Mafia. The civilians don't know who each other are, but there's a lot more of them. The Mafia do know who each other are and can communicate privately, whether it's like... We might use Zoom chat or Skype chat, or on forums we just use private threads. But there's significantly less of them. The goal of the Mafia is to make sure that they kill all the civilians. The civilians is to kill all the Mafia. And the game alternates day and night. On day phases, the entire town as a whole, civilians and Mafia, because there's no way to distinguish who's civilian, who's Mafia, aside from what someone says. The town as a whole votes to lynch somebody, or not to lynch anybody. At night, Mafia kills someone. Repeat. And by then, usually... the game usually ends before literally everyone dies, because if the votes are tied, then there's and it's either a no lynch or a random lynch among the people who are tied.
Yep.
So if there are 4 Mafia and 4 civilians left, Mafia usually just win by default on our side because we have a no lynch. Because then they could get that, nobody would die. They could get the night kill. So then there are 3 civilians, 4 Mafia. They can just kind of overpower and kill the civilians, so we don't worry about playing it out. There are usually also roles.
Some kind of special roles.
Right, like a medic, a civilian medic who can pick someone at night to protect. There's a detective who can pick someone at night to investigate and he'll see if they're Mafia or not. But it's pretty straightforward.
It's a fun premise. I mean, it's hard to... It's easy to get into. It's hard to get out of, really.
Anything else?
It's also
We've just gotten a
Sponsorship deal with
I've
Nintendo.
just lost my word. Alpha, how about you take over?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, we just got a commendation from Emma As Always Bay that says you guys are by far the best gaming talk show.
We are by far the best gaming talk
take
show.
that, DJ Wheat and Mike Ross. Jesus Toast Mafia is here.
Ultra
Wait,
Chin,
where'd
you're on notice.
Gutex go?
Yeah.
Gutex isn't on cross counter anymore.
Yeah, Gutex died, didn't he?
Well, I know he left, but I thought he'd come back.
He died in the FGC game. He just got shot by
Shut
by the cartel.
I don't like you guys.
I don't really follow the FGC anymore.
Blasphemy.
FGC makes me
No, I
sad.
left the site. I don't even need to care anymore.
What?
That's true. We've got our own
Why
site now.
are you
Well,
on
okay.
the first thread?
I only go there for the Blizzard threads.
No.
Heroes of the Shore you.
Heroes of the Storm is a great game, and you should play it.
It's fun, yeah.
I'll tell you what. Give me a new laptop. I'll be in Heroes. I will not be in Diablo.
You should. Diablo is so much fun. I saw Fuzz playing it last night.
Yeah, me and a friend who have played it through already. Well, I haven't played it through. We still need to do that sometime. But
Was it? It's a black guy from the gay teen forum.
no, his name is Will though.
It's Will.
It's not Dr. Will. It's a different Will.
Oh,
How many Wills exist? Jeez.
I imagine
we've got Dr.
hundreds.
Will, Pimp Willy.
Willie,
That's
Dr.
it.
Will, Lord William.
Oh, that's right. No, he's not on JTM.
Dr. Will.
He doesn't count.
Well, his name isn't Will.
Well,
Okay.
neither is Pimp Willy's.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Mine's not Willie.
But we have anyway. But he's not on the site. But it's just me and two friends. One of the friends had just gotten the game, so we were like, "This is the Demon Hunter class." And we're like, okay.
Okay, we got another question from Emma. Would you ever have guests on Jesus Toast Mafia?
They're for Jesus Toast Mafia. Just sign up. There are no guests really.
Yeah.
You just sign up if you want to.
I think they're talking about the
play,
podcast.
Play Arena, play Mafia. If you make an impression, we'll probably invite you on the podcast.
Yeah.
If
You can also follow us on Twitter.
I have made a significant impression, one way or another. That's why I'm here.
You make enough of an impression that most write-ups end up with you having a great deal of harm dished out to you.
Not most. Okay, most of Alphas, but not most.
Yeah. Mine are usually
I
sexually
had-
biased.
I had Butters shoot you in the penis,
Wait, no, but that was the game when I was immortal, and I was Kenny, so I had to die.
and you repeatedly had your penis made in that game.
That was okay. At least half of that was because it was Kenny, and he has to die in every episode.
I mean, I feel like you guys spend a lot more
The other half
time.
is because it was you.
You guys spend way too much time thinking about Fuzz's penis. More than the normal person probably
This
should.
is coming from the guy that's named Pimp Willy.
That's my penis. Not Fuzz's.
He has a point.
I named my screen name after my penis. Or did I name my penis after my screen name, actually? I think that was the proper way. Pimp Willy existed a long time ago, like since the 90s. It'd be perfect for the 90s kid game coming next week.
But he's not playing.
Well, because I got more important things to do.
If I die as Roll,
Oh,
can I
clearly.
die as Pimp Willie?
90s Pimp Willy.
I think that my screen name started.
All right, now why are you wanting to die as Pimp Willie's penis?
That's what I said, Pimp Willie. It's so 90s.
Oh, the Legends of the Hidden Temple Pimp Willie.
I
Yeah.
need to. We
I
need
mean-
to see if you can get like a screen cap of that, and just like the blurriest shot possible.
Well, TGG says he found it, but he won't share it.
Yeah.
I'm hunting right now.
Really.
I'm going to find it eventually.
See, I'm amazed that there exists a YouTube playlist with every Legends of the Hidden Temple ever, because what that means is somebody recorded them all on VHS, right?
Mhm.
Kept them in their collection throughout the 90s, pulled them
Knew
out
that
in
one day they
the
would need
2000s, and then sat there and manually transferred each episode from VHS to like a digital format, and then took the time to upload them to YouTube, and it didn't get copyright taken down. Like that blows my mind.
Okay, the copyright thing I don't know about, but like if that's like a grandparent or a parent for their kid, or like let's say grandma for her grandchild, who like has never experienced Legends. I don't know.
I've been thinking about actually bringing some of these episodes into class.
That would be great. But then do you have exactly 12 students?
Hunger
In any
Games.
class,
Yeah.
I have one that has 11.
You are the second.
Maybe I could just abduct a random kid and put them in that class and just have them reenact Pimp Willy's episode of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
You could have one like
Hang on the rope.
Just have one kid crying in the
no, like in the middle of the room crying. Everyone else kind of like walking by nervous.
Get like one of those like kiddie pools and just have them like standing in the kiddie pool, crying.
Slightly filled. Like salt water, so it seems like tears.
Alternatively, you could have your students to reenact Battle Royale.
That's
an arena game.
That's Japan more than China though.
Same thing, right?
I think so. I don't know. It's a little blurry.
Yeah.
Hey.
Isn't Japan like a province of China, and then they get really mad if you call Japan Japan and not China?
Something like that. That's
Yeah,
what
it sounds right. I
That's
mean,
the one.
I don't know anything about geography, but as an American, that sounds correct.
I'm gonna go with it.
That's correct.
So now we just pissed off every...
Yeah, well, there's two countries, right? America and not America.
Yeah, we excel at pissing people off, even ourselves.
Hey, where are you from, Alpha?
Sorry, his hair got in the way of his eyes.
Reference to me just freezes.
Oh, back?
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
So where are
So
you
yeah,
from?
there's two countries,
Where are you
America
from,
and not America.
we heard that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
And then
I'm from not America.
you sure? I thought you were an honorary American.
I thought you were from not UK or not
I'm
Britain.
from
rather.
upside down America.
We're both from the colonies, so it's okay.
Except ours was established with a little less love and care. Because we had 0, but you had negative.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I wasn't implying that Britain went like, let's nurture America so it can become its own independent country. Like, no, let's nurture America so they can give us stuff.
Although I think both of our countries
Nurture
started with like,
Australia.
oh, there's some colored people here, let's just get rid of them. Isn't that how both of those came to be? Geography. Very
That's just-
educational here at JTM.
Yes. If we had our way, Texas, Australia, and not America, and America would be the only 4 continents in the world.
New question.
Mhm.
Again, Emma has always been, hey, good stuff. You're actually giving us a lot of stuff to go off of. We may not ever get off this stream. Would you
fine.
guys ever want to go to any cons?
I can't even get you guys to show up for Evo.
Yeah, we're a bit too far apart to...
We're literally a global show, so like I'm from Southern California, the best place in the whole world.
I'm from the States, but I'm living in China for now.
Texas!
I mean,
I will ruin our reputation today.
I think you've already done that.
No, like, reputation on a global scale. I will leave to go into the mountains, and this show will cause and effect drastically increase in popularity, and JTM will be like up there with Yahoo, and I'll come back and ruin everything we built.
So Fuzz, if you're really from Texas, show us your gun.
I mean,
Because A, you're from Texas, so you own a gun, and B, you're an American, so you play with it.
Yeah.
You have no gun safety, right? You don't know.
naturally.
No,
So-
that's Florida.
That's just United States.
I don't think Florida has any kind of safety.
So are you saying A, you don't have a gun, or B, you're not going to show it to us?
B, I'm not going to show it to you.
And by
Because-
gun, I don't mean your penis.
Oh, that's funny. You're a
I
funny
don't
guy.
know. To answer the question straight up, if there was ever a chance that we could show up to cons, I don't know. If we were ever that big,
If I go to a con, I'll try to.
Oh, yeah.
justify it, that there would be like a JTM contingent at a con or Evo.
No,
you know?
didn't we talk about this before? They have a Mafia con that takes place
really?
in like Las Vegas or something. And like
Right.
there was video of it where like a bunch of Russian guys were sitting around a table and playing.
That seems
We need
appropriate
to do
somehow.
that. We need to go for this.
We need to all speak in Russian.
I'm gonna look it up.
A small like piece of paper with like Russian translations, like Lynch player.
So 2 guys from America, 1 guy from China, 1 guy from Australia, and then just like 50 Russians.
Yes.
They were confused. They thought they were showing up to a real Mafia con, not a video.
We need to translate for us, you know.
Yeah.
Like everyone has this awkward like Brooklyn accent. You realize as you sit down. Oh.
Like I can't find anything on it, but it exists, and I will find it.
Technically, JTM is going to be at Comic Palooza in May. This is May, but Comic Palooza because Wilkie and I are part of a Smash group team that's trying to stream in Houston, Team Greensleeves, and we're going to stream Comic Palooza and actually Texas Showdown too. I think.
All right, I found the video.
For that, right?
Oh.
So
I don't have a JTM shirt.
I'm gonna throw. You guys can't see it, but the viewers at home they can see it
Here.
real quick.
I'm gonna.
Oh shit.
Alt tab.
Look on YouTube, and it's called Mafia Video World Championship 2014,
Oh my god, this sounds great.
and it's in Russia, I think. And it's a bunch of people sitting around a table with blindfolds playing Mafia.
Blindfold.
Well, think about it, right?
Our body
You're,
reads though.
you're playing live Mafia. It's live Mafia. You can't Skype minimize everyone, right? You have to do night faces with blindfolds on.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what you meant.
night faces make sense, yeah.
It had like
Yeah.
permanent
Well,
blind-
okay. At the this part right here, they're all getting their rolls from a bowl that's being passed around the table, and you take a card with your roll on it.
Huh.
Yeah,
We're
I
all
can't.
holding hands too.
I can't do YouTube at this point. So
So this could be the future of Jesus Toast Mafia.
Yeah.
Like the biggest table we can find. You
Well, that's
literally
fast
can't.
It's a 1 hour long video, so
actually, I'm kind of scared to get involved with having the entire JTM group over. I just don't want to, enact the end of the world.
Dude, end of world would be the best possible way for us to meet up.
Oh yeah.
Plus, it was the one game where I died day one, so Alpha would be extremely happy.
This is the one
Holy
game that
shit,
I
there's
got
an Asian guy in
MVP as well,
Russia.
coincidentally. Well, not one game, but one of the games.
Yeah, you definitely played that really well with the Hail Satan.
That was
The only time when we need to have a stream dedicated to just story time.
A history of SRK/JTM.
Right. Like the
Yeah.
moments and shenanigans that have happened.
We
okay.
could do that.
All right, here we go. What is it?
We could do that. The
We need to
history
have
of-
one stream where we just one session where we just go story time. This is SRK and JTM Mafia.
Ooh,
Like all the shenanigans.
all of the big events that have happened over the
Like
canon.
Hail
We'll go through the
Satan.
canon of SRK and JTM.
okay, we can do that on the 10th anniversary of SRK Mafia. We can do a retrospective.
When is that? Because I know SRK Mafia started.
2011.
7
or
years from now.
2021.
According to OG, it started 03, but he's OC, so.
But
Okay, so anyways.
yeah, he remembers playing
I'm
in
not even
games that
kidding.
didn't exist. So who
I'm
knows?
talking with him, and he's like, it started 05, right? It's like, I can't find the thread. No, the thread says 09. No, but it started 05. It's just a weird thing with the 4.
There was a forum purge where everything before a certain date was lost. So
That's got to be why there's so many games missing.
yeah.
All right, so so another question: what con would you go to, and who would you cosplay as? Let's just throw this around the room.
Mm-hmm. Who do we want to
All
start
right.
with?
Pimp Willy.
Let's go with Alpha. I want to hear Alphas.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Lando.
not really that familiar with cons, but
Lando.
the
Come on, you probably got that at a My Little Pony convention. Don't.
I got it for my birthday. You remember that post, don't you?
That makes it better. You're right. You didn't go anywhere. It was delivered upon you.
Yeah, but the only con I can think of is Comic-Con, so probably that one. And if I didn't cosplay as Lando, I'd probably go as Byakuya, just because forum.
You have your new
Thing.
OC, Byaku.
I do, yep. My recolored, reskinned, haircutted Byakuya.
Byaku Alpha Togami.
Byakuya.
Byaku Alpha.
Yep.
Pimp?
So I was trying to pull up an image. So basically, the only convention I go to that I care enough about going to is BlizzCon. I still go every year. So who would I cosplay as? I would cosplay as Uzrael, who nobody knows unless you play Diablo 3. He is in the new expansion. He is the first big boss you fight, and he is this badass guy covered in flames that carries a big flamethrower tube thing, and he's, you know, I could probably pull him off because I'm, you know, not the skinniest guy in the. I'm not like. He's like the only one I could pull off in the game without looking muscular because he's kind of fat. Maybe Butcher. I could do.
Fat.
I could do Butcher. But yeah, so that's the only convention I go to, and that is who I would cosplay as. And I actually was thinking about trying to do this, but probably won't because I have a life.
As for conventions, technically, I've only been to Comicpalooza, but I'm not that big into comics. I feel like Anime Matsuri in Texas. I almost went to that one year. And I'm big into anime, so probably... Okay. There were people I would like to cosplay as, but I can't because I'm not in shape. That's something.
You can get in the fitness thread.
I need to just like start from the beginning and like start getting my diet better. So anyway, but off the top of my head, Kanye from Gurren Lagann, Bobobo from Bobobo, pretty much anyone from Bobobo, honestly. Or what is it? What's his face? There's a guy from Nichijou, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The rice patty mascot suit from Nichijou.
All right, MP.
I have no idea who that is.
All right, well, I don't know. Probably if I went to a con, I would really like to go to Gen Con. Basically because I lived in Indianapolis for several years, I had a chance to go with one of my friends, and I blew it off to watch the World Series of Poker. Genius move right there.
It's really not that bad of a trade-off, I don't think.
Yeah,
well,
but
that's
it was
on YouTube, though.
2006, and that was one of the worst final tables ever. So.
And who would you cosplay as?
I hadn't ever really thought about that because I'm not really into anime that much or comics. I would, off the top of my head, I would probably could pull off Squall from Final Fantasy VIII pretty decently. So that'd probably be like the easy mode for me. You know, minus having a gunblade, but you know.
All right, how about this? We all make a pact. We all go to Evo this year, and we all cosplay. Okay. MP, you're gonna be Ryu, and Fuzz, you're gonna be Ken. Alpha, you're gonna be Vega, and I'm going as
Do you mean
Blanca or E Honda?
No, Claw, the pretty one.
Claw, yeah. I didn't.
Yeah.
This is America. We call him Vega here.
Yeah, of course.
I prefer just Claw, Dictator, and Boxer because it's between SRK. Some people prefer to call him Vega. Some people prefer to call him Bison.
The dumb people.
But yeah, I actually went to a convention once. It was the EB Games convention. I think you guys would call them GameStop.
They have a convention?
They had a con?
They have a convention in
So,
Australia.
You do realize that convention means like an event, not just a store, right? Is it different in Australia?
No, yeah.
You went to the mall and you went to the EB Games convention.
Yeah,
How much money did you lose?
They had so many games to choose from.
You lost more in trades than freaking Servbot.
But yeah, I went with Synonym, and we went as Gabe Newell and Robin Walker. He went as Gabe and I went as Robin. So yeah, I just wore lots and lots of hats, and he went as the guy with the Gabe face and a big pillow and Half-Life 3 in a cage.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good fun.
How long ago was that?
Oh, 2 or 3 years ago.
Goes to show how long it's going to take Half-Life 3 to come out.
So what goes on at an EB Games convention? Is it just a generic gaming convention put on by EB Games or something?
Yes, it is.
So since it's in Australia, did you guys get like all the games that came out like 3 or 4 years previously?
Pretty much, yeah.
Look, guys, we got an N64 to show.
They get the collector's edition where there's the game. It's like the normal game without the censorship.
Ooh.
Yeah, well,
That's
back
the
then I got
motivation.
a post of like Mass Effect 3, so that's how long ago this was.
I own all the Mass Effects, and I've only ever played like through part of part 1, and then I couldn't stand it, so I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I couldn't get into 2.
I don't ever finish games. Like I stopped buying them because I want to buy a game so I can play it and experience it, but I don't really care enough to finish it.
That's why I
I
only
keep
play
buying games
fighting
and
games.
never playing them. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Except I always buy them. Like collector's edition and day one editions and all that. It's like I gotta have that, but then I just never touch them. It's awful.
Like I'm taking a quick look at my Steam directory to see like what games I've actually beaten. I think,
I've got over 500 games in my Steam collection. It's
do you?
awful. Yo.
Is there an easy way to
I have
tell?
so many games. It's horrible.
I stopped buying them. I actually
Rob.
stopped buying them.
To be fair, freaking what was that Space Animals Angry Birds one?
I have 180.
Bradley
Like 5 of those are gag gifts.
I only have 181 games, unfortunately.
No.
I stopped buying them.
You know, for all that
Yeah.
money, you could buy MP a new laptop.
But like 500 games on Steam is probably like $5 or something.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah, rounded.
But
down.
now I apparently have to save up to go to Evo this year, so I can't buy you a laptop.
Well, it's too late this year because Evo's already sold out.
Oh,
Oh,
true.
man.
You can't even buy it. You have to buy a spectator pass, and you can't even buy them anymore.
Wow.
And you know what? I actually have to be in the States in October of next year because I've got to go to a wedding in what I was told is the town of Simon Belmont, New Hampshire.
Oh my god, that's the best town in America. I love whoever named that town.
Just make sure to bring a whip.
I'm gonna have to sit in a corner and just with a stone just to get to this wedding. I'm sure.
If
So-
you're hungry, there's always chicken on the wall.
Since I'm American, I had to pull up a map to see where you're going to be. Sorry. No one in the United States cares about New Hampshire.
I mean, New Hampshire, it's like, it's up there somewhere. Eh.
Might as well be
There,
Canada, as
maybe.
far as I know.
Kind of like West Coast. Like, West Coast is, oh wait, I guess it's like, West Coast's over there, East Coast's over there, Northeast, like, all the weird sounding states are kind of up there. And then all the states you forget about are right in the middle. And kind of Northwest, but mostly in the middle.
So New Hampshire, I think you'd be pretty close to the Canada border, actually.
Yeah, it's like up there. somewhere.
Probably.
Northeast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know, like, it borders. I think the town of Simon Belmont is actually close to Canada. So. So yeah,
Okay,
like
when you
Evo's
say
going through
close
the
to
same
Canada-
thing that Comic-Con went through, and it's just getting too popular. Like I used to go to Comic-Con like a hipster before it was cool, and then Hollywood came in and took it over, and now it's like so ridiculous to try to go because it's like you have to wait in line for the big room. You have to wait in line for like a day to get in there, and once you're in, you can't leave. So
Good lord.
it's like, oh, you're in the Hollywood room, but I want to go watch Stan Lee give a talk in one of the smaller rooms. Well, you're not getting back in the big room because there's a line of people around the convention hall. So I actually stopped enjoying it. I used to love to go to Comic-Con when I was a poor college student. And now that I have money and I could blow, I just don't go.
So we just
You
need
know-
to make a JTM con.
JTM Con,
Yep.
but like, where would it be? Well, okay, if we're gonna go on which area has the most members, it has to be in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
shit.
I'm glad that it's not in Florida then.
We could all do it at Disney World.
Ooh.
If you're paying.
Well, that way you can get your watermark and
We can rerun Augustus's game without roll cards.
That's true. At like
And cover cards.
Yes, and nobody gets a roll card. You have to guess. I think I'm off it.
Oh, there's my username 22.
Oh, your username's in here?
I almost posted that video and screwed myself too. Because I don't know if you guys, I had made a video that I was gonna post in the thread at Disneyland when we were playing the Disney game, and I saw the Evil Queen, and I said, "Oh, look, it's my username 22." But his role wasn't known at the time. Nobody knew he was really the Queen because he died as like Dr. Facilla. So
Yeah.
I would have completely screwed myself.
That would have been great.
Although
Actually, no, you could have taken it off of YouTube, though. That would be better. Like, you wouldn't have to edit. It would still be suspicious, but you could have taken it off YouTube. And, like, joked, like, I uploaded the one where I outed all the mafia. Sorry, guys.
Oh no! Or you could have just said, "Well, I got a copyright claim."
Well, no, but that's hard to... if you take it down, say copyright. Okay.
Copyright strike.
But for the Breaking Bad game, you had that 20-minute intro. You posted somewhere else.
I hosted it on Jesus Toast Mafia.
Yeah.
We have unlimited transfer and storage space, so I took advantage.
Nice.
Who needs the cloud?
So
I
yeah.
do, and I can't ever access it. Thank you, China.
Well, you guys got too much smog to reach the cloud. Sorry.
Oh, that's England.
Fair.
They call it the smog in China
What?
instead of the cloud, the smog.
What?
Oh, dude, I should actually build a cloud hosting service here. It's called Smog.
Smog.
That'd be awesome.
You'd make $1 million just on the name alone.
Yeah.
China would just buy it. See, smog is bad. Smog bad for you. And then immediately close it.
Well, if they buy it, I'm still rolling in paper.
I know. Super profit.
Exactly.
They're actually controlling it behind the scenes. They set up like puppet CEOs. It's a giant intrigue about this smog business. And, I sold it for
I don't care if they shut down my life's work. I just want to get paid.
So
Is
speaking
how
of
you feel
that,
about JTM?
Jesus Toast Mafia is experiencing a buyout from Shoryuken. They've offered us 10
5
McRibs.
McRibs.
No, 10. They actually 10 McRibs.
We called the Cedric ribs.
Think of all the Python dollars you could buy with that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe taking them up on it, but I think with the new enhancements I'm putting in, we're worth at least twice as many McRibs as that.
Hold out.
Oh, yeah.
Hold out.
Wizard never waits. It'll just go up immediately.
So
And I
We
can
might-
make jokes about Wiz now without having to like half jokingly fear for my account. It's nice.
But if he ever sees this, we're all banned from SRK immediately.
I'm on SRK for a scrub quotes at this point. And God, I love that thread so much.
I actually have a funny-ish story about Mr. Wizard with basically about 3 years ago there was a StarCraft 2 tournament called the NASL, which is the North American Star League, and they were coming around and having their finals kind of near me, but they had press badges, so you could sign up for a press badge. So we asked Mr. Wizard if we could sign up as representatives from Shoryuken, and he never said yes or no, but he never said no. Let's just put it that way. He never said no. This was IRC chat, and he never said no. So we went ahead and signed up for press badges through Shoryuken.com, and we got them. And they said, welcome, we told them we're going to write a front page article about the tournament and stuff like that, and so go ahead and come on down. So that's what we did. We went down, we picked up our press badges, and while we were there, we ran into Ultra David and a couple of other people from Shoryuken.com. And they saw our badges, and they knew we were from And they're like, "Oh, we're like hiding them? Like, how did you get a press badge?" And we're like, "Oh, we just signed up for one. That's all I left it at." And then, so the next day or two, Ultra David writes a nice front page article on Shoryuken.com about going to the NASL, and
Completely independent of anything you did.
completely independent of anything we did.
Did you
And
know
then-
you were gonna write the
And then
article?
I didn't write one because Ultra David took care of it. I actually was going to write one for real. But I didn't need to because Ultra David took care of it. And that is how I got into the NASL with a press badge for free, thanks to Mr. Wizard not saying no.
And Ultra David for just having him to be there.
Hmm. Thank you, Ultra David, for writing
From
that.
all of us, thank you.
Yeah.
For when you watch this podcast.
Yes. The
Well,
best
we are
thing-
the best gaming. So.
I'll link to him on Twitter. I'm sure he'll watch.
Freaking
Oh, I'm
Wednesday. No, the freaking Level Up? No. Salt and Butter podcast.
And one of my friends was taking his thing really seriously. He actually set up an interview time with Day 9 so you could ask him questions and stuff, and talk to him about Marvel's Capcom 2 because Day 9 is a big Marvel's Capcom 2 player. I don't know if you guys know Day 9 at all.
Nope.
No.
If you're in the gaming community, you don't know Day 9, then you can go fuck yourself.
Okay.
Did you
What
say
am I-
Chris G? That's what I heard.
Freaking Chris G plays every game, and not that it annoys me, but it's just grumble, Chris G. I have to remember Marvel 3 now because of you.
And then my ultra cringe moment of being there. So I'm in the backstage area, right? All the pros are there, all the gaming celebrities are there, right? And I have a new phone. It was my first one of my first smartphones, maybe a second one. So I try to take a picture from being back there, and then the flash goes off, and it had the loudest sound ever. It's flash, And then like day 9, and every like pro just kind of turns and gives me this look like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was just like, oops. And I like put my phone away. Yeah. Or running into like someone in the bathroom, and then you start chatting with them. You like get into a conversation with them in the urinals, and people are coming around and peeing. And you're like, can we just take this conversation elsewhere? Because this is kind of weird.
Kind of gay.
I don't want Ultra David to pee between us while we're talking.
Huh?
I don't want Ultra David to pee in between us while we're talking.
Yeah. Or just, yeah.
Freaking. Imagining Mike
Jesus
Ross.
Toast Mafia, where we piggyback onto other people's successes.
Imagining Mike Ross
We've always done that.
like in a social situation sounds really funny for some reason.
We brought a little bit of the Shoryuken fighting game community flair, because it was one of the StarCraft 2 was just getting big as like an esport with the dollar signs, and so there's a whole thing going on with like
signature on SLK.
exactly right. So like it was like our way of doing it versus like the esports way of doing it. And so they invited us down to the tournament, and we were getting into it, right? There's a lot of people that didn't know a lot about StarCraft. I actually was pretty big into it at the time. So we started doing side bets during the tournament, which is pretty big. I mean, it's normal in the fighting game community, right? Side bets.
Blase. It's kind of like frowned upon in StarCraft.
Well, yeah, we got so much like hate from people that they literally said we were ruining their experience because we were cheering during the game, and that was disrespectful.
Huh.
So like we had different side bets, like who would get the first unit to kill, or like what would be the first unit built, or something like that. So if you watch the VODs from this tournament, you'll see like the most inane thing happen, like like one Marine dies, and you just hear this erupting of cheers from us. Like we're like yes, and then like the announcers are like looking over, like what the heck is going on, and it was doing this the whole thing to where like people online were like getting mad at us for like ruining their experience at home and stuff.
Okay, if they could hear you on the that might be a bit much.
Well, there was about 12 people there. No, I mean it was a huge arena, and like it was only at like 30% capacity or something like that. So we were sitting right by the announcers, so you could hear.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like 20 feet away, like
right.
Not 20 feet away, like
I mean,
a good chunk.
We were far enough away that if they had better sound control, they probably wouldn't have heard us. But
Oh, okay.
they were notorious for their sound issues. So we brought some fighting game flair to the esports community, and we weren't welcomed by the community. But like DJ Wheat was really into it, and like
Screw the community if they don't welcome us.
I think he had Ultra David on his talk show.
I thought that was
right after
Smash mantra.
No, that's screw the rest of us that don't like the same game as some of us.
Yeah.
I hate
esports,
sometimes.
baby. So that's how I was
Imagining
able to.
just like in Street Fighter, like dudes playing footsies, like Daigo gives the first hit over just along, like just crouching forward and goes, yeah!
Yeah.
Like 10 guys in the back of the room.
Well, the best side bet we did was like who would do. It was like you guys probably don't watch StarCraft, but there was like a Terran versus Terran, and one of the things Terran does is they load up a dropship full of guys and fly it around the base and drop it somewhere just to kind of like deal some damage, right? So the bet was who was going to do a drop first, right? So this guy gets this medevac full of Marines first, right? And the people are cheering because they bet for him. It flew it all the way around the map and then just sat it there and didn't use it. And the other guy, in the meantime, was able to get his own dropship and drop it, which caused like a huge outburst from us. Like, oh my god! It was the most amazing moment ever. And yet the announcers were so confused why we were so excited about this drop. And they had to explain it. They did a gaming talk show afterwards from the venue, and they had to bring someone up from like our community to like explain why we were so excited about that moment.
That's funny.
So the esports community was not ready for us, and apparently
Nor are they.
Yeah. Apparently, the only thing we even have the esports divide if you look at like Valle and Watson, right? All the stuff going down in SoCal, and no more Wednesday night fights.
Oh, Wednesday night fights is an online only event.
Yeah. Nothing more esports
What
than
the
that.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. Wednesday night fights is played on Steam now.
But Viscant and Low Tier God, crap like that, where you get physical
Well,
playing in person to begin with.
I think that was the divide, right? Like Watson wanted to keep it real, and
No.
Valle wanted to keep it coach, like sponsor friendly, right?
Bae was up there encouraging it though.
At the time,
He was
maybe,
kind
right?
of instigating.
He was fostering
No,
it.
it was that Watson went off on Wizard over something that had happened at Evo, or no, something that was happening with that 37 Reloaded tournament. He was
Right.
and he said that Wizard had screwed him on something regarding that, and then he just got on his stream and he just started trashing Mr.
That's
Wizard
true.
the whole way through.
Which was deemed as like not professional enough for, you know,
For that,
a sponsored driven stream, right?
Right. But you kind of get that, but
Yeah. So Wednesday Night Fights no longer exists in its form, which was one of the last great fighting game of events. You know, does the East Coast still do theirs? I don't know. It's the East Coast. Who cares?
Big Two
Which one?
or Next
it-
Level
Yeah,
Battle Circuit. Yeah, they still do,
East
as far
Coast.
as I know.
So now the West Coast sucks.
It's funny. Someone admitted it.
Well,
Ghost is better than Ghost.
we used to be the best, but no. We were so good that we could put in 10% of the effort and get back results. If you lived in New York, if you lived in like the north, not New York, sorry, if you lived in the Northeast and you had to live in the snow and you had to live in like shitty weather and you couldn't even go outside for fear of like freezing to death, of course you're gonna stay inside and play Street Fighter. You live in Southern California, I can go to the beach, I can go snowboarding, I can go to Disneyland. Who has time for Street Fighter? So it only makes sense that they would eventually overcome us, even though we're more talented naturally. They eventually. caught up.
The bias.
I'm going to hit Japan, and I'm going to level up to the point where people are just going to be like, I'm just going to claim that I'm from the Midwest. Midwest will be on the map then.
It's like
Midwest.
Midwest. What is this Midwest?
I would say, if you were to put it in like boxing terms, the Northeast is Mayweather and the Southwest is Pacquiao. If you guys watched the big fight last week,
So one's Filipino and one's not.
one is aggressive and one's a little bitch.
I know who you bet on.
I didn't bet. I don't even like boxing, but yeah.
I mean, of all things, we should know that playing to win is a thing. Like of people who play fighting games should know better than most that playing to win is a strategy.
Sure.
Mayweather turtling was legitimate. It's boring, but what can you do?
It's the system.
You
You
can
don't
not
like
be
it, you try to change the system.
He won.
I'm not faulting him for it, but I'm still saying it's not enjoyable to watch.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty good.
that's why I'm saying it's boring as crap. But hey, if you're gonna win, just win. Do what it takes.
That's true. I have no problems with
Shout
that.
outs to my opponents on Fightcade tonight that rage quit on me.
Got to get that fight money.
Shoutouts to having to stream Smash 4 tournaments. That's okay. So short story time. Not great story, but just like I was trying to run the tournament. I think I mentioned it in the lounge. Like the venue had power issues, so the tournaments were already behind schedule. I was trying to run a Project M, kind of like Melee. It was a side tournament, like a dozen people. Ended up being
Oh, you're one of them.
what?
Project M player.
Yeah.
So not only are you holding to your melee over brawl, right? But you're actually modding the game away from what it originally was in order to play a version you deem to be a better game.
Melee was a better game, and that's a fact. And that's not just because
This is getting real right now.
that's not just because it was it had more mechanics in it. It was the fact that the mechanics that Brawl added was deliberately aimed at making it less competitive.
Tripping.
You're talking about tripping, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the slowdown, no combos, hardly.
So you know what you do if you have a game that you deem not to be not competitive?
You
Don't play it.
That's why I stopped playing Brawl when
Right. But in this case, the Smash community has taken it upon themselves to mod their own official tournament game.
Question: if Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition tournaments were a thing, would you be mad?
Hell no.
Would I be mad?
Is that
I would be
serious?
amazed at people that dedicated themselves to playing Rainbow
Okay.
Edition.
You would you have
As
the
their
same
primary
issue
competitor.
like people have taken it upon themselves to mod a game because they don't find it to be good enough? I'm saying I don't think you would have said that. I think you're kind of looking at this
But
already.
Nobody has ever tried to mod a Street
Rainbow
Fighter game to be
Edition
more
was not
competitive.
because they didn't think Street Fighter 2 was good enough. Rainbow Edition was created just to be more Kappa
Yeah.
before Kappa even existed.
But okay, then let's take sillier ones. Like let's take changing out a costume in Smash Brawl or something. Did they think that by extension that means they didn't think that costume was good enough to be put in the game?
But
And
we're
they
talking.
just-
You're talking on a cosmetic level versus a competitive level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're actually changing the
Okay,
balance of the game to
okay,
create
well,
a new
here-
game.
I tell you what, I'll give a better analogy because Fuzz is not doing very well at this.
I'm Fuzz.
Let's say, all right, so let's say hypothetically, I really like Shaq Fu, but it's a terrible game.
Okay.
And
Hypothetically.
I mod Shaq Fu to get rid of some of the hitbox issues, the collision detection, the input lag, to make a competitive game.
Mhm.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
And then you were to go around and tout that as the standard by which all Shaq Fu tournaments should be run on.
No. Okay, you're adding something in.
Because why would you run it on standard Shaq Fu?
Wait, no, Pimp Willy. You're saying that there are people going around saying it should be the Smash tournament standard. That's their problem because Melee and PM are similar. Yeah, and if you want to make it, if someone wants to make the argument, PM should be run before, it should be primary over Melee, fine, they can do that. Brawl and PM are different games. Like they're not similar even at this point. It's a Smash game, but okay, it's like Street Fighter EX and Street Fighter 2. They're just flat out different games at this point.
Except for one of them's just a mod. It's not even like a game. Like I don't understand why the Smash community, they have the resources to do a huge overhaul and make pretty much its own complete game, right? Why don't they just make a game? Why not just take it a step further and make a game from scratch instead of just modding Brawl?
Because that takes a lot more assets. Brawl, they used the they made new colors and some simple some costumes too. Yeah, but
surely, just devil's advocate here. Surely to God, there would be someone in the community that would be able to create such assets if there's already people in the community to balance out games, to write the code, to check the hit collision detection.
I mean, I think
It's
that's the
just
biggest issue I have
That's
with it.
just the safe assumption that there would be someone there that can make their own game.
Right.
They are talented. For them to be able to do this on a game that like is closed source, is not even like moddable. Like that's the fact that they can
Brawl
even
is
pull it
moddable.
off. But I mean, the fact it wasn't programmed, Nintendo didn't put out and say, "Hey, here's some mod tools
okay,
for the
that's-
game," right?
Yeah,
No, there was no source code.
The fact that they were
Okay,
able to
reverse
put that
engineered the whole
together
thing.
is amazing and blows my mind that they had that much talent to put it together. And the people that make it, they have talent as far as it goes like that. Why not just take it a step further and make their own game? That's what I don't understand.
okay. So then, how do you make a game that plays? Let's say,
But one problem I do see, just because I'm just trying to be the hipster here, is the sellability. You've got Nintendo characters on top of other characters with Smash. That sells. Well, of course, they're not going to be able to sell this anyways.
Right.
Meanwhile, you've got people that have made games similar to Smash, like in the Xbox indie games section. Like there was a game called Choose Dynasty, which was actually a pretty good
Or
game,
I
and it
think
was
like
very
the
similar to
PlayStation All-Star Brawl is probably a good example.
that too. Did it sell enough to warrant any major reaction to it?
No, because it didn't have Crash and Spyro in it.
that is
Bingo.
true.
Also, just want to point out that Jason C says that he believes Oz plays Project M, so I don't know whose argument that supports.
Oz does play PM. I remember him posting in the Smash thread like 6 months ago about playing Toon Link. He doesn't have to do DPs on the bright side.
So I mean, that's the only issue I have with it is not the technical side, not what they do, because that's all amazing, but like the fact that there's a big enough community for like, it's like there's more support for a mod than the actual base game, and that kind of irks me.
Well, there are still people that play Brawl. The Brawl tournaments, for the most part, have fallen off the map because, like, okay, let's take the Shaq Fu example. Let's say Shaq Fu 2 came out today, and after the initial burst, it kind of like settles down, and then 20 years later, it's achieved some kind of basically what Shaq Fu is now. Do you think that Shaq Fu 1 being played over Shaq Fu 2 in that situation would be bad? Like, I'm confused as what you're trying to say here.
What I'm trying to say is like you're a big enough Smash fan that you still compete in Smash and go to tournaments and stuff like that, right? You still love Smash Brothers, but the version of Smash that you love is a version of Smash that doesn't even exist except for in your community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
there's no marketable product, basically.
Well, it's more like if you like Smash, then play Smash for what it is, and if you don't like Smash and you have to change everything about Smash to make it playable, just pick a different game. Which I guess you kind of are with Project M. Is a different game.
That's a thin fine line, because then you have to say, well, play Smash for what it is. Well, items are default.
Yeah.
Plus minus battles are default.
Also, just to note, sorry, just a second. Project M started as some dude literally going, what if Falco played like Melee? That'd be a weird mod. Let's try that. And then it kind of just kept going. And now it's basically Melee, not 2.0, but in that it's newer, but not that it's better or anything like that. It's just, plus with the revival of Melee recently, PM has gotten a lot more support and just like a lot more excitement around it.
I'll say that I did watch, randomly, I was watching a Smash 4 tournament footage today for the first time ever, and quite frankly, it's a lot better than Brawl for sure.
It's got Villager in it.
I actually did get a chance to play it not competitively with some dude while I was back in the States, and yeah, it's actually a much more interesting game than Brawl.
Actually, the only Smash I ever played to try to be competitive, or even played actually, period, is Brawl though, and because we were in such a big drought with the fighting game community, there's no games that had come out in a long time. So when the Smash came out, kind of latched onto it and tried to play it, and I didn't mesh with the Smash community.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yep.
Yeah, especially because we were doing the from SRK perspective, it was, let's start with this game, and we don't turn the items off, because why are we turning the items off? If you start from the perspective that items should be turned off all automatically versus the items should be turned on automatically, you get a much different gaming experience.
Right.
Yeah, it's more, and I do see where they come from with the no items, because it does make things more random.
There is more randomness, of course. But the argument is, does that necessarily make it bad?
And there's also more opportunity to use skill in the way you use the items.
No, that's true too.
Like with stage selection. Yeah, if it's all Final Destination, I'm not talking about stages that like attack you, but just like, let's say moving platforms on Fountain of Dreams. Platforms move up and down every now and again. It's really minor. But as far as I know, it is actually random. Or at least within a span of time. They will move at this random time in here. So it's like, from what I've seen, most people who play Melee or PM, whatever, make the argument that it is not the game they want to play. Just kind of, they don't want to play the game where when you're knocked off stage and a baseball bat spawns on stage, the person on stage now has a completely safe way of just killing you. You already got punished and knocked off stage. You already got punished for it, rather.
Right, and then the counter argument is, of course, well, I was controlling the stage. I earned all the items that spawned, right?
Right.
Yeah. Are people actually watching us talk about Smash?
Yeah, Jason's still with us. He just tried to submit a vote for RadicalFuzz and it didn't work. 'cause the vote counter isn't.
Bracket V bracket.
So
We're
Yeah, that's the
keeping
one.
we're keeping Pimp Willy from actually working on the vote counter by
well, I am now
Dumb.
officially 2.5 hours late for work.
Oh no! What will your boss say?
it's it's the second time that I've made Pimp Willy miss work.
I was actually considering just taking the day off anyways, so I don't have a lot to do on work today. So now I can play video games and work on the vote counter.
So by delaying you, we've actually increased the progress on the vote counter.
It would have been done already if we weren't doing this.
I blame Fuzz.
I mean,
Yeah.
I blame Fuzz too, to be real.
So I guess we can all just say we can all agree that Project M is an abomination and should be removed from the face of the earth, right? We all agreed on that?
No. Okay.
Then we
Link has a cute costume in Project M, so
No.
I'm going to say no.
I don't even have a logical way to like back up my argument as to why it's like a
Because
silly
it's getting
thing.
just as much attention as other games that have been like mass produced. Not mass produced, but like that are games.
That are
I mean-
licensed.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's just weird, like it's like I don't know. It's just a weird thing to me. It's just it's hard to wrap my mind around.
I see your point though, where if Unity's strong enough that they could make a game like this, why not just make a original IP? And you know what? And
And they have the
gaming
talent to
community
do it.
is so lacking in IP at this point that if they could have come up with a great IP out of the Smash community, who knows what could have happened? Maybe Nintendo catches on to it, since Nintendo finally has their ear to the ground with the Smash community.
About that. Well, they do, but that in a way that is kind of good and bad for this kind of thing. They're listening to the Smash community, but that also means that since let's say sponsorships, for instance, by Nintendo for tournaments and streams and stuff like that, it's creating this really big rift because of Project M. Nintendo isn't going to sponsor this. They've kind of been like okay with it, but they're not going to sponsor it. So you have this giant rift and all these, not scandals, but just like bad situations that hurt the scene as a whole. And I think
We'll take a step back and turn Project M into an original IP. Problem solved. Maybe Nintendo picks it up then.
Well, okay, but for an original IP, what Project M is people didn't want an original IP to play. They wanted kind of Melee 2.0, new Melee. If they turn it into the original IP, they can't just change all the textures and models and stuff and still just call it something else. Because that's still, like, even if whether it's Unity or whatever engine wasn't Brawl, like if a new engine, but it plays the exact same way, I think that's still enough to get Nintendo to not want it around. Because now they're not even Nintendo characters in it. It's just unrelated character A, unrelated character B. They're not even getting publicity from it. Which is probably the only reason they don't really care about us doing this.
Well, Jason brings up a good point that there's a parallel to Skullgirls, with it being the unofficial Marvel 2.1, whatever.
It's more like a Marvel 1.5. I feel.
Yeah.
No, that's not to say it negatively. It's just the game plays more like Marvel 1 than Marvel 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but how they built a game from, like, based, like, a little bit off Marvel, but not completely, just sort of copying all the assets and stuff like that.
It's true.
Imagine if Mike Z made a Marvel 2 mod instead of just making Skullgirls, right?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
that's probably a better comparison.
Because I can respect that he went out and
Okay.
tried to make a game, and he did it.
But at the same time, look at all the crap.
You also got to think that Skullgirls was being created way before Marvel 3 was even a brainchild.
Well, it depends on where you define creative.
Well,
I think Mike Z
I
said he
can
worked-
remember when I
working
signed
on
up
it.
to SRK in 2008. There was already assets and a game, a working concept of Skullgirls already out.
That sounds about right, like 09. Because the game came out, what, 12, 11?
It came out in 11, yeah. But Alex Ahad already had a working concept for Skullgirls in 2008, and then Mike Z came along and brought it the rest of the way.
2012 release, yeah.
Okay.
So
It's hard to remember because they update it like every week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it still has all these nice bells and whistles.
It's like if Bike Z was to have just made like a Mario Capcom 2 mod, and then it supplanted Mario Capcom 2 as the game that was played at EVO, then I would have an issue with that. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I see where you're coming from a little bit more now, though.
that's why. Well, of course, that's one of the reasons why Evo won't touch Project M is because
Right.
They
They can't get sponsored by
they
Nintendo.
legally can't even put it on stream.
right.
One thing I do want to point out, though, Lab Zero has gone to hell and back trying to get their game, just to kind of like, be a game, be able to sell it, like get it to work. Not to work, but just like
To work as a profitable enterprise.
no, not even that, the bureaucracy. Just trying to get it on Xbox. Well, you need to have it on Xbox first. Okay, fine, then we'll do that. They've jumped through so many hoops trying to get this. And let's say from the point of view of just like you have a group of a dozen people in a PM conversation on Smashboards, it's much easier just to go, let's just mod this to be kind of like Melee. And that's not even where they started. They started from like one character, and then they probably went, let's go to the second one. And then it just kind of grew and like, why not everybody? So it looks like, and can definitely be in some cases, such a huge undertaking to try to create a video game and get it out there, as opposed to just making a mod you can just put up on a website. Obviously they weren't thinking about the long term, like,
All right.
what about if this is EVO? It can't be at EVO. No.
Right.
Okay.
This was
Yeah.
like 2012. Smash was at EVO, wasn't even at EVO then. They were just thinking,
Okay.
I'm
That makes
it's out
sense.
there.
Because if you're just doing something for giggles, and then of course you're not really going to think of the long-term implications of it if it catches on.
Like this vote counter. Him's making this vote counter for the purposes of this site. He's not going to think about the long-term implications of, what if we need an arena vote counter? Because it's irrelevant at this point.
Well,
Not vote counter, but action counter.
I'm actually planning to make a self-sufficient arena game that can be run entirely by the server.
That sounds
Oh
beautiful.
my god.
And I wish you the best, but you're not helping my point.
Well, there's more tricks up that sleeve.
And you look like you're about to kill
We
somebody.
dream big.
I'm half asleep right now. It's like almost 3 a.m.
Holy
I can't
shit.
even think about Alpha being awake this long.
I'm fine.
Yeah, Alpha's never tired. It's weird.
The
I think
vampire.
he sucks Lando's youth out of him or something.
Never do that to Lando. Everybody else in the world, though,
This is why I'm running away if I ever see you in person. I'm just
I was going to greet you with a big hug, too.
But like, to your example, it'd be more like me saying, "Hey, I like this game Mafia, but you know what? I have a better version of Mafia that I made where instead of the Mafia getting a kill every night, the Mafia can instead, I don't know, silence a player only or something like that, right? And this is my version of Mafia, and it's better than the original version of Mafia. So let's
Calm down
let's play
there,
that.
David Selin.
But the problem is that that's Mafia as itself is inherently flexible, right? Like that's what's kind of cool about it is every game can be unique in its own way. Whereas in a competitive game, you don't really want that. You want it to be like something standard. I don't know. Like it's always just like in like fighting game world, the game is what it is, and whatever's the best thing you can do within the confines of that game is what you do, right?
Okay.
By like
Right.
rewriting the game, it's like weird. I don't know.
But in the Mafia standpoint, it's not really it's not really a copyrighted property as far as I know. So us rewriting the game rules is not really.
No, it's not. There's not like a
Mafia
copyright.
has a different rule set every time.
Right.
At
That's
least
what I'm saying.
So you're not the concept of like taking this. Okay, from a competitive standpoint, Brawl. Let's say PM started had 1.0 like a release as basically Project Melee, which is what it was called, in 2010. Let's just throw that out there. Brawl tournament scene in 2010 was not good. It was almost dead.
That's the Mewtwo team.
Shoutouts to Evo Finals. There was not much of a tournament scene. So they weren't, I think also, I can't speak for them, but very few people I've met with regards to Project M think that very few people see it as a better version of Brawl. It's just, oh, we didn't like Brawl. Let's use these assets to make like an updated version of Melee. It's like recreating Minecraft and Garry's Mod. They're different games. They're not trying to say Garry's Mod's a better Minecraft or Minecraft's a better Garry's Mod.
But by definition, the people making Project M are saying our game is better. That's why we're doing it.
Well, I think you're assuming that. They're saying... You think they're saying our game is better than Brawl or better than Melee?
Brawl.
Better than Brawl? They're saying we're putting this out there. It's like, it's the same...
They're saying Brawl is so shitty that we have to mod it to be playable.
No. They're not...
Well,
they're not trying
From my perspective, looking outside, looking in, that's what I see.
But, okay. The project, the creation, until recently, was called Project Melee. It was never a project to fix Brawl. It was a project to make Melee and Brawl. Like, using the assets, like, using the characters. They have the entire Brawl roster plus Mewtwo and Roy. Right. Their priority was never to make Brawl better. It was just to be, here's the thing we made. It's different. I've never seen anyone whose opinion I respect say, well, Project Melee is a better version of Brawl. They're different games. I think most people, at least here, would argue that Brawl is not a very fun competitive game because of some of the things they purposely put in to hinder players. But at the same time, they're just... It's like saying Marvel 3 is the better version of Street Fighter 3. You can't compare them. If someone makes a Street Fighter 3 mod because they don't like this specific way Street Fighter 3 works to make it play more like Marvel 3, whether they do it with the intent to make it a tournament standard or whether they do it just for fun, I don't think they're inherently saying our game is better.
But they are the same game in general. It's just the one's an altered version of the game.
Well, and to go back to what Pimp Willy said, that that people with Project M are saying that Brawl is better. That's kind of...
Wait, what?
I don't know. That's kind of... What was the analogy I was going to use? Oh, that's like saying Synonym's a better Mafia player than Ben Perkins, because there's just that level of
every time I play
quality versus Brawl and Melee or Project M. You know,
Super Smash Bros. Ben Perkins.
Super Smash Ben Perkins. Super Synonym Ben Perkins. But I think at most the team that made PM was saying, we enjoy this. We changed it around a little bit, and we enjoy this. If you want to enjoy it too, fine. Putting it out there. And then it just grew and grew, and a lot of people enjoyed it over Brawl. I think people already kind of didn't enjoy Brawl.
That's kind of a just from the nerd standpoint, that's kind of a similar analogy because, you know, Linux just started from some dude just making his own version of Minix, and he's just like, hey, look, this is the OS I made. I'm uploading it. Just tell me if you like it. And then it just spawned into this huge OS that now takes up I won't say a large part of the market share, but it's growing.
It's part of the market share.
Yeah, it's part of the market share now.
It's a huge part of, like, not like user devices, like personal computers, but back-end stuff is probably bigger than Windows even.
Yeah. So to compare, in that aspect, you know, Minix was closed source proprietary versus Linux, which was completely just open, and he just reverse engineered everything. And same thing with Brawl. I mean, Brawl's closed source proprietary, and then Project M just comes along and just reverse engineers it into whatever they want. And it's just like, hey, here's what we got. If you like it, let us know.
Okay, so let's segue this into something mafia related. Okay, you take something that's deemed to be not very competitive, and then you make it into something competitive. So they took Brawl. Oh, Brawl's not competitive enough. Here's our competitive version of Brawl. I don't know if that's the correct way to look at it, but anyways.
Yeah, let's look
Game
at
of Champions.
Danganronpa.
The Game of Champions is taking a game of Mafia and trying to make a structured competitive thing out of it. Is their format a good format? Or is it not?
I don't know.
And thank you for joining us. We don't know. That's our podcast.
Well, what's the format?
No, so look, here's the format, right? They're
What
doing.
are we talking about? Because last year we had Roll Madness, and then this year it was just a single comp.
It's two
Wait,
things
there
right
was
now.
World Madness last year?
Yeah, they
Damn
got
it.
fucking rolls last year.
So here's the thing.
I got so many
There's
stupid vanilla bullshit.
there's two layers of this. There's the game format itself, which I think they're doing. Is it 11 players per game or 10?
13 and one comp has a night 0 check.
So they're doing 13 players. Is it 3 Mafia? Or
Yes.
2?
3 Mafia.
3 Mafia, 1 cop,
One cop.
and those are the only rules. The cop gets a innocent check, like a free innocent
night,
check
night 0.
before the game starts.
Yep.
And that's the only thing, right? So then that is one thing. Is that a fair role? Is that a fair game? In and of itself, and I think it sounds pretty fair, pretty reasonable.
Pretty fair. Yeah, pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
balanced.
I personally think that something closer to what we had with the Vigi, with Medic and Cop was a little closer to fair.
I liked it, like our All-Star format. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that format a little better, personally. So then there's a second layer on top of that. So they're making this into a tournament of champions, not just a game of champions. So only 2 players advance, or is it 3?
2 players each.
2 players advance from each game. So how do you choose which 2 players advance from the game? So
Well, that's purely subjective.
Well, that's the thing. How
Or 90% subjective.
they're it's like if you win, it's like you can't just say the winning team advances, right? Because that would be unbalanced. So what
Right.
they do is they have all the players within the game make a vote on who they think are the 2 players that should advance out of that game.
The only way that you can make it completely and totally subjective, or no, yeah, subjective. No, subjective is, or no, objective. Yeah, you're right, objective. I can't believe Fuzz corrected my English.
It is 3 in the morning for you.
He is
So-
also an English teacher.
Thank you, guys. So, to make it completely objective, the only way that you can do that is to have an ELO format and have everybody in this game of champions play each other, which, given the breadth of the amount of players, would take at least a year.
Gonna pee. BRB.
Mhm.
How do I? There we go.
So like, in that case, is there ever a reason to even do something like Game of Champions if it's never going to be subjective? It's always going to be subjective. It's never going to be objective. Why even do it? I like that it brings all the communities together and it's fun, but like they're trying to declare the best Mafia players ever, and I disagree with the way it goes, and I don't have a better
Based on one game.
right, and I don't 2 games, right? Because you
Oh,
win,
Yeah, well, yeah.
but then
So we're judged on one game, and then
Right.
to move on to another. Yeah.
and I don't feel that like I don't have a better solution to like suggest. I just don't
there is
feel
a better solution than what they're doing, unless you want to spend the rest of our lives just playing an endless round robin until everybody's played each other and we can determine who has the highest ranking.
Wouldn't it make
Yeah.
more sense at least to have the entire winning team advance?
No, because then roles would still be randomized and that team would most likely be split up, so it makes no sense.
Right, but it's almost like you're still going to filter down to the best players as more games go on, right?
But then what if just in hindsight, what if one of those players is a weak link?
Then
Why should they get carried to the next round?
And vice versa.
It's true. Yeah, why are there people getting voted ahead in the Game of Champions just based on their name and not based on what happened within the game? Right. I felt like that's what was happening in some of the games I saw. People were like, "Well, he died day 2, but he's a good Mafia player, so we'll let him advance." And I'm like, "Well, he didn't contribute anything to this game." And the counter argument was, "Well, it's not supposed to be who was the best contributor to this game who is overall the best player. There's some line that Thingy Man was trying to make versus not the best player.
That don't make sense because
Most
if you're
valuable
putting them in
player
that
versus
game,
best
you
player.
need to perform in that game.
Right. He's like, well, they might have not helped win this game, but overall they were a good player in theory, so they should advance or something like that. Like I didn't agree with that. And maybe we should schedule Thingy Man to come on to our next podcast and talk
I've
about
been
it.
trying to get him. He said he's considering it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But really for that, yeah, it's really got to be that game. Synonym got no free passes. I got no free passes just because we play well on our site and we have good games. It's just basically for those, it's just like, who's been playing on 2+2? Have they been contributing a lot? Well, it doesn't matter what your performance is in this one game, you'll go through. Now in Alpha's game, it was a little different because who got in on your game?
Tubes.
It was Jagged Jimmy J and Verbal.
Well, Triple J played it pretty decent. So
When I was reading the game, I was really
and then
impressed with Triple
for
J.
being able to not blow his wad on that.
Wait, wasn't Verbal the
Secondary
one
round.
that had a night zero peak?
Yes.
Verbal was the UC, and they had a night zero peak, and nobody in the game could figure out who it was because they didn't do a good enough job figuring it out.
Right.
So they were UC. What did they contribute to the game that made them that special that they should advance?
Hold on, they had several town reads that were still alive. Going into
Did Verbal
day 3.
survive? I might be mixing your game up with the previous game. The previous game had a UC.
Survived,
Okay.
and then they.
In the first game, they had the UC. The UC was killed off fairly early
Right.
and didn't get to give any of those results in the thread, and nobody in the game was able to pick up on who that person's
I
reads
saw
were.
that game.
And I think that UC was voted as, well, they were a good enough player. They played good. Let's let them go on to the next round, I think.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
But
And that leads back to the whole wall bias thing.
But to credit that game, there wasn't really any good play going on in that game that I saw.
Yeah, I wasn't following it that close.
I mean, the only good player in that game overall was CP Hoya.
Well, that's the thing, is I disagree that CP Hoya was that good of a player that game. And I think he
No,
was
he-
able to
well, in
advance
that game,
off of
no.
his name more than his
Yeah, he
performance
got-
in that
He
game.
got in off his rep, period. But should
And
it
that-
happen?
Right, and
No.
that basically puts the whole Game of Champions thing kind of...
Does that discredit him as a good player? No, he deserves respect for being a good player, but should he have been in off that game? No.
I think that's who it was. The UC in the first game was Fonty, and I don't think Fonty advanced. Did they? It was Hoya specifically the one I was thinking of, where I don't feel like they really contributed that much. I don't feel their reads were that right, and yet they were able to advance out of the game.
Yeah, I'd have to reread Hoya, but but let's just see. But yeah, Verbal got in pretty easily.
Verbal,
and
Verbal I think was okay. The UC for Alpha's game.
Yeah, that was a good play for him not to be afraid of.
They didn't claim Mafia to save their life, right?
No, they didn't claim Cop to save
Cop.
They didn't claim Cop at the end of day 2 to save their life. Could have turned out badly, but it turned out very well at the end.
Could have been a Fuzz
Could've
not
turned
shooting
out
moment,
badly.
right?
Yeah, it was one of those moments where it was like, you can either it's either going to shoot yourself in the foot, or just you're going to be the hero.
Yeah, exactly.
He was playing to advance too, so he had to try to be a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Game of Champions, I understand what they're trying to do. I don't know if I can agree
It's the best way to do
necessarily.
it.
I don't know if there is a better way to do it. I like bringing the communities
One night
together.
of Werewolf, everybody plays each other once.
In pairs of 3.
That's one night of Werewolf, period.
Yeah, let's do
Oh yeah,
that.
duh. I thought it was like there were like 5 of them, and just if any of them survived, GG.
2 nights of Werewolf.
5 nights of werewolves.
So yeah, Hoya got second place in the voting, and he like blew away anyone that was close to him. He said
Who was
he had 25
third?
points, and he had more than twice the amount of points for the third place voter. And that was Hoya, and he died early without contributing anything to the game, as far as I remember.
I'll read that when I actually have time, which I'm about to GM, so that'll probably be a long time, especially with this game.
That's okay, because the vote bot will take all the pressure off of running the game.
Yeah, but I gotta pay attention for my write-ups.
Yeah.
Alpha tries to kill Fuzz. X dies.
That's your first sentence. You just got to do the rest now.
So we've literally been going for 3 hours and 48 minutes now. I think
Who's going to watch this on YouTube when we finish?
Smashboards.
Where Alpha gets mad that I won the game.
I'm gonna link it to Smashboards where we talk about Smash, and we'll get tons of people
Please
to watch.
don't.
I'm actually I'm gonna tweet this to Ulster David later.
You know you're talked about on the Salted Butter podcast.
Nice.
The
What's
heavily
the
watched and
Salted
heavily
Butter
followed
podcast?
Unrelated, we've been called the best gaming talk show. No, take
Eat it, Ultra Chin.
some notes.
So next time we need a splash screen before it starts with the Salted Butter podcast logo. I can play music, and we'll put the quote from Emma that says, "This is the best gaming podcast I've ever seen." Okay.
We win.
Sounds good.
That's an award.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So we've talked right through my breakfast into lunchtime, and I'm starving. So
Ditto.
All right.
Yeah, it's
man,
even
I-
later for
today.
I've got stuff to do in the morning.
not anymore.
All right.
Any
It is the morning.
any closing
Dan.
remarks? Anything to say?
I was
Shout
pleased
outs to
be here.
Toogs, champion of all of our hearts.
I was pleased to make Alpha sad.
Um,
I'm sorry I let you down.
hesitantly say thank you to Fuzz for joining us as our special guest today.
Qualifiers are irrelevant. You said thank you, Fuzz. All I need.
Make that your ringtone.
Thank you, Fuzz. Thank you, Fuzz.
Finally, Senpai
Yeah,
noticed me.
and thank you to you, the viewer, for watching this on Twitch,
Yeah,
YouTube,
our one
Viewers.
viewer, Jason.
iTunes, Twitter, wherever you're listening to us at. Then thanks. And if you're from the if you're in the future and we're all big famous people, and you're going back because hey, these guys are famous, and I'm gonna go watch the early stuff. Fuck you! You should have been watching live.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like Jason.
That applies to
Actually-
everyone that wasn't watching this live. There were like 4 to 7 people watching this live.
Yeah.
They knew
I
us
think
when.
Jason sums it up pretty well here. This podcast was pretty ejaculate.
We also invented the word
The word of the day: ejaculate.
with the K.
Ejaculate.
To
This
differentiate
is
it.
the
Now,
more
That version of ejaculate?
what?
You said ejaculate with a K. That's the Mortal Kombat version of ejaculate.
We
Yep.
differentiated between
Ejaculate.
normal.
I put the more you know video over our podcast. So. Ejaculate.
Alpha wins. Ejaculate.
Ejaculate.
So yeah, let's call it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So, yep.
You gonna let us do our outro this time?
Nope.
Or did you
No.
already stop it?
Yeah.
Did you stop or after you said nope?
No.
No. We're
Okay.
still going.
So I'm missing person.
I'm Alpha, this is Lando, Pimp Willy and RadicalFuzz joining us today. This has been the Salted Butter Podcast. Spread that shit on your Jesus Toast. Peace.
Bye.
Adios. Because I'm texting.
Thanks for the audio.
Did it get them?
We finished?
I faded to music, and they can still hear us talking though.
Oh, okay. Let's RadicalFuzz. We'll just put it into the song subtly. Let's RadicalFuzz.